Well, here we are once again on a Saturday morning, and Oggie's bounced in. G'day, Oggie. He's got to make his sound work.
Sorry, I was just trying to
There,
kill my volume so that they don't get feedback.
there you go. And May Swan, thanks for following us on Facebook there. Obviously, probably not watching the stream because I'm not actually streaming to Facebook. And Sam Beth S. Penn now following us Facebook. Hey, probably because I posted something out there on Facebook to get people out there. Oh, really? We're going to do this all freaking morning, are we? I did a test like an hour ago, and it didn't freaking pop this shit up an hour ago. Crying out loud.
They were waiting until you actually went live.
So we're waiting for, like, it just gets, it's annoying. Well, and there's Stephen Monash. But then when we got to go, there's 4 queued up. 5 queued up. What the frick? Yeah, there's 2 more to go. But where they come from, I don't know. Like as I said, I was on there. Right, gotta love the technical sort of side of this shit. Really, we're not even streaming to Facebook, so I have no idea where it's picked those up from. And then Stephen Monish is following us on Facebook. Yeah, okay.
You're just that good.
That's the last of them. But yeah, I try to work this shit out as best as possible for the minimum amount of interruptions. Yeah, like I've done a little bit of tweaking on the Streamlabs thing as well. But yeah, we've got a topic for today: house hunting, condo buying in Bangkok and Thailand. So I got a couple of websites we'll go through. I decided to use a backdrop picture out of their most recent house hunting video. I actually sort of, like, the more I think about it, these houses here, I'm quite liking. I like the little extra balcony on there. Like, it's nothing like Mayor Groves and his mansion down in Cha Am. If you haven't been following Mayor Groves, I'm sure he'll pop in later. He's building some sort of massive thing down in Cha Am. It's like 8-bedroom. I don't think he'll mind me sort of showing you a couple of videos of his mansion. I've got to go and find his Facebook page and sort of pick up a few of the videos he's done. But outside that, we'll do that. We'll do that later on to the Andy Stubbs, hi from prison. Yes. I know that. I think it's been a petition to annex Victoria from the federal and state monopolies of Australia. Some bloody crazy shit going on down there. But don't worry, like America is still leading the race. Yes, right. They're not the number one country for most things, but they're number one in the spread. Anyway. Oh, and of course, what they call incarcerations, I think, is another one that they're number one in.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. They're also number one in defence spending. They actually have more defence spending than the next 26 countries combined, right? 25 of whom are actually allies. So figure that one out, What else is that? What else? What's the number one in? Literacy. No, not literacy. No, not one. It wasn't literacy, was it? I think it's 57th in literacy, something like that. Anyway, not trying to bag out on America. I've got a few American viewers here, and I've got one in the line here streaming at the moment. Anyway, if you want to come on and have a chat, you're quite welcome to. Dale, just jump on. I know you sort of pinged me before on Discord. Just jump on there and come and have a hello. Come and say hello. Robert Mack, how's the sunny America? And Zeke Man, and of course Chris Brand. He's also sort of sitting there in the background. I'm pretty sure still. I know he popped on a sort of a hello before we started. Yeah, so we were going to talk about house hunting and everything else, but I wanted to do a bit of a shout out first. Another friend, now friend on Facebook, hit me up the other day. So this is really a sort of a little bit of a public announcement to the other Thailand vloggers here in Thailand. I do not comment on other people's channels. unless of course I know you very well and I know that you can determine the validity of any comment from anybody using my name. Now there is a contentious bad element that seems to be trolling the Thailand vlogging scene. We've got a pretty good idea who he is. If I ever see him in the street, he's going to find out what the other side of being an arsehole is all about. But aside from that, right, if you don't know how to check the validity of somebody making a comment on your live stream or on your comments on your pages, take it from Red, the fact that I do not go to pages and I do not leave distasteful comments. It's just not my style, guys. The best thing for you to do is just delete and mute that person. Yes, your muted people list will grow like mine does, right? Like I've got, I think, probably 20 accounts already sort of impersonating me on my own page, right? Sort of commenting on my videos, right? They just get muted. It's just a one click and they're gone, right? They got to go through the whole process of make a new account just so they can do it all again, right? That's all right. If they want to do that shit, that's up to them, right? I really don't. I can't control YouTube and their freaking slack attitudes to validating people's user accounts and everything else. That's up to them to police their platform, right? Just take it for Red. Right, if there's any distasteful things coming from somebody that calls themselves me, or calls themselves Chanya, or calls themselves my deceased mother, or my deceased father, or my brother, or my sister, or whatever, it's not me and it's not them. My brother and sister don't ever use YouTube, and I know Chanya won't. So just mute them and then be done with it, because quite frankly it's not me, it's not them. I just wanted to just get that out there, just sort of make a bit of a public announcement, because it's a rampant thing that's going on here, and it really does spoil the whole YouTubing scene, especially sort of somebody trying to disseminate information out there in the big wide world. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to sort of promote Thailand. It's not the panacea of the utopia of living somewhere. Well, quite frankly, with the spread of the virus at the moment, maybe it is. We'll get to that subject in a second. But yeah, it's just what we do. We live here. It's our place. It's where we're chosen to live. It's not, as I said, it's not a bed of roses. We tend to sort of look at it through rose-coloured glasses. But getting onto these live streams, we talk a bit more openly about the whole insider story of what Thailand's like, sort of house hunting and all that sort of things. The real down and the real down and discussion sort of processes. This is what the live streams are all about. That's what we do. But these idiots that run around and sort of call them, make an account, brand it with my name, right, and then start leaving distasteful comments on other channels. That's why I don't comment on other. I'd love to support other channels, but unfortunately, we're in this world. The fact that unless, of course, you know how to validate the fact it's me versus somebody impersonating me, then I probably don't comment on your channel. If you leave me some sort of indication on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my Discord, join in, right, and sort of say, look, by all means, comment on my channel, then I'll quite happily go on there and participate in your crew, and sort of help out. But until that sort of happens, then I really can't be seen to be sort of, allying myself one way or another, because it just creates more hate. Oh, God, crying out loud. Anyway, moving on the line. Niall's joined us. How you doing, Niall? And, of course, Darlo, who's there. I think I said that before, didn't you? Come on and say hello, Darlo. You know how to use a Discord. I know you have, because you've talked to me before. Anyway, today's discussion topic is about house and condo buying. I was hopefully going to get Stephen to come on for this one, because I've actually done this with Stephen before, and but we've done it one-on-one live. Bangkok 46, good morning. So I've actually sort of got the web page streaming into Discord as well, so Oggy will be able to sort of see the page that I'm streaming in directly without having to wait for that 10 seconds, so we can obviously get an interactive an interactive discussion about that. But we'd like to have more people coming on the discussion panel and talking about this sort of stuff. Alex, how you doing? Anyway, moving right along, 10 minutes into the thing and I haven't really done much at all apart from the little shout out. Saturday morning did I just go hoarse? Okay, so I have prepared a couple of... I hope to make it interesting. So, as just a bit of the preface as well. A few people sort of seem to think that I'm buying a house. No, I'm not buying a house. Chanya's buying a house. Let's just get this out in the open there before we sort of start, because the fact that it seems to confuse people, right? I've never planned to own property in Thailand. My major plan, my long-term planning and major plan to come and live here was to have enough money to live on for the rest of my life, with my investments and everything else, and to rent property, right? And my investments are sort of CPI guaranteed, and not guaranteed. There's no such thing as a guarantee, but they're levelled and they're higher than CPI and things like that. So effectively, from my investments and my incomes and things like that, I never have to work again. Getting that out, right? No, I never plan to buy property. I would maybe consider it, right, if it was allowed to be on my asset register and I had full carte blanche ownership of the property, which means, I'm a Thai citizen, right? That's probably never going to happen. I'd like to sort of consider that and look at all the options of being a Thai citizen, right, so that I could own property. But I even believe that the fact that if you get citizenship here in Thailand as a foreigner, you still can't buy property. For some reason, it's only available for Thai nationals, right? And citizenship doesn't guarantee you nationality, or something crazy like that. So that's one reason why I won't own, because I don't have full access to their legal system, and I'll always be a foreigner. I'll always be the second peg in the cog. Yes, there are ways around setting up businesses. There are ways around all that sort of stuff to circumvent, the weird rules they've got here. Mind you, I would love these rules to be brought into Australia and then just go and buy back all the Chinese-owned property in Australia. Really, Australia really have done themselves a disservice. I think China now owns more water rights in Australia than the whole of Australia combined. Really? Who comes up with these brilliant ideas? Anyway, that's another thing, another story for another day. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, the fact that it should only be available for Thai nationals, but there should be a way to get a nationality so that you can be given the option, right? You choose Thailand to be your place of residence and you want to contribute into the whole Thailand scene, then you should be given that option. But of course, this is the way rules work. That's all the way that people get around it, and the sharks out there, they find loopholes. And I think, that's where Australia's really done themselves a disservice. The way that the foreign ownership loopholes are so rampant in Australian sort of, governmental policy that it's a crazy house over there. It's very hard to break through the loopholes here. They've got a real nationalistic fervour when it comes to those sort of overarching rules. But yeah, so I never planned to buy. And of course, the option that we're looking for is that Chanya will buy. She has to get herself approved for the loan, right? She has to be the sole guarantor for the loan, right? Based on her business and business acumen, her business incomes, right? And I will be giving her 20,000 baht a month, which will cover my proportion of the mortgage, right? It gives me a little bit of a guarantee, the fact that if anything, if push comes to shove and the Thai government decides that they don't like foreigners in their country anymore, well, I'm sorry, darling, I'm no longer living in the country. I can't give you that 20,000 baht. I need that to pay my rent in Australia. I'm sorry, but your government's done that and they've ruined it for everybody. That'll be the sort of the attitude. It'll hurt greatly, but that's the way it's going to have to be. I've got to look after number one first. When it comes to that sort of side of thing, I'm going to have to move back to Australia or find a freaking deserted island out in the freaking middle of the Pacific somewhere. I don't want to move back to Australia. I've got a few, I've got a few fingers in some options over there, but I have no plans to. But it's a backdrop. And again, anybody coming to live here in Thailand, you've got to keep these reality checks going in your overall persona. You're never guaranteed to be living here in Thailand forever, right? Because of their nationalistic fervour. Right, they could just take a sudden dislike to Australians, or like to anybody in particular, any nationality there. I think the most, apart from the Chinese descent over the last 12 months, than the ones that there were, I think it was Nigerians, was 12 months ago or longer. There was a big anti-black move here in Bangkok specifically. I'm going to use, I don't give a fuck about what your political correctness is. They're black-skinned people, right? The best way to describe them. Unfortunately, I got a few, friends in America who are black-skinned, and they told me about the difficulties they've had here in Thailand. Right? Okay, to a Thai person, you just don't speak Thai, so anybody with black skin was being assumed to be Nigerian. Well, okay, there's a lot of difficulty things going on here in Thailand when it comes to that sort of stuff, but you get what I mean. Again, Taylor, you finally made it in.
Hey, Wazza, how are you, mate?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, so, getting off the nationalistic sort of topic, well, we are going to get to the topic. Just waiting for everybody to join in. We've got 30 viewers now. So who else have we got sort of joined in? Mr. Mitch, g'day. How you doing, Mr. Mitch? How's things over there in sunny America? I think that's all. Cover all the shout-outs.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Well, it's not quite 4th of July for them yet. Isn't that right, Oggy? Oggy? He's disappeared. He's there, but he's got his microphone off. So it is the 4th of July for us, but not quite for them yet. I think that happens in a couple of hours. I think they're 12 to 13 hours behind us. So it's still 10:30 in the morning. Half an hour before East Coast hits. Right, okay, there we go, Tora. Doggy's got us. I hate everyone equally. Good on you. Now we've done this. We've done this in Discord before, and it's basically we've been looking at houses. Now I've been doing a few videos on house hunting and the sort of things that Chanya's looking at, the sort of things that are in roughly her budget, and so on and so forth. So now that we've clarified the fact that I'm not the one who's actually buying, so those people who are leaving those comments on the channel, and thanks for the view, but you've obviously missed something in, like we try to make that obvious in the videos. I'm not buying, she is. If you're not watching and you don't understand English as well, can't help you. I do speak in English. I think it's a fairly understood sort of thing, the fact that I'm not buying. I plan to pay a mortgage or put a proportion of the mortgage. It's up to her, like how much she wants to spend. She's just guaranteed for me to give her 20,000 baht, right, on top of whatever she wants to contribute to that house, right? And if mother wants to contribute as well, like she's living in the house too. So, she could have earned anything up to 30,000 baht, depending on what mother wants to do. She's going to get a space downstairs to do her sewing bee and all that sort of stuff. To keep herself occupied. So it's all well and good in my books, but that's it. I'll be paying the rent, or I'll be paying the 20,000 baht, and the other thing I do here is I pay the electricity bill, which helps mother out. Like I only use about 1,500 baht a month worth of electricity with the air conditioner, but those sewing machines downstairs, they're going 12 hours a day. They suck about 3,000 baht worth of electricity each month. And of course, all the extra people in the house and everything else.
That property that you looked at, big enough
Last
to
one.
put a swimming pool in the front.
Well, almost a small pool. Yeah, well, the one on the corner. That if you look at the one there on the backdrop there. Let me just go onto the smaller screen so it's a bit easier to see. Right. So this one here. Right. This one was the one that's it's got something like 65 square meters. Yes, but I think they want 4.6 million. Now that's again, it's not out of the budget. It really depends on whether Chanya, if the bank will give her, the loan to cover the difference. I'm putting down 500,000 baht as a deposit on the house. So that's like that gives her equity in the house, and it comes down to obviously what the repayments are. Now I've got some ideas of repayments figures as well. Let me I didn't prepare that, which is I should have. But one of the websites I've got here actually does some what ifs on what repayments are. So let's just actually flick over there now. So if we take this is some stuff I've got prepared, right? So. Property price, that's not okay. That's probably need to find one that's a bit more expensive to give me a higher price. Let's find something at 4 million. Let's go up a bit higher. There we go. That's 5.5, but didn't want to go that high. Okay. Go to page 3. They got a little bit of a sort of an approximation mortgage calculator. That will vary. So let's take a 5 million house. That should give us a mortgage calculator. Right, now you got your loan repayments. Let's look at a 25-year. Which I don't know. I think loans these days they're looking at about 30,000. Let's put a 500,000 roughly deposit down. 490, 5 million. Approximate repayment rate. So this has given you an approximate repayment rate from the standard banking systems because the APR rate's around at 5%. It's actually a little bit lower right now. I think they're running about 4.5% because the way things are. But that gives you a rough approximation of what the repayments are on that level of house. So as I said, when we look at a 20,000 baht per month that I'm putting in, and if Chanya was to put in 5,000 baht a month, she's got pretty much the capability over 25 years to do a 5 million loan, a property price of 5 million, or in our case 4.5 million loan on that for the bank's going to give you, and of course the 500,000 baht deposit, that gives you a 10% what you call holding, so covers the bank's back, I guess. So that's one of the reasons why we're going to look at this sort of site. Well, we'll look at some of these properties, but getting back to the thing. So yeah, the pool, yeah, well, that's something. Now, whether I want to sort of spend it, I think I got an idea. Was it? I think he's not actually here with us yet. Rob, he would tell us how much his pool cost. I think he said it was only about 600,000 or something to put a decent sized pool in his place. And yeah, it would be a nice place. So that one on the corner has also got some other options as well. We could put another room on the side, or a workshop on the side, just so that we can open up our house again for making a living room. Because when Mother moves in, she's going to put down her sewing machine and the girls are going to come around and work from here. Possibly. We really don't know yet. Because this is a good 25 minutes away from where she is now. And the girls that are currently working downstairs live within push bike distance of our house. And so it would mean that they'd have to commute out to where this new house is. G'day, morning. Good morning, Joe. How you doing? But then again, a couple other things we could be doing, like Mother. This is something I have mentioned before. Mother's a great cook, and I don't know all the ins and outs of Grab, but the potential for us to do a little menu on Grab and then have a Grab, what they call cooking service, operating out of the house, because this is going to have a lovely kitchen for it, gives her some cooking space. Mind you, I wanted to do some cooking as well, but I wanted to get back to my culinary sort of expertise, something I did for 8 years after my wife and I divorced. I did have to cook for myself for a while. I got quite good at it. Something I haven't bothered doing when I'm living here because Stephen's in the wrong room. Hold on, let me move him across. G'day, Stephen. Do you get your sound working? He'll be. Oh, there you go. It's all right. The link you've got takes you straight to the lobby. We're streaming, so I'm putting you in the streaming room. That's all right. But yeah, so as I said, if she doesn't want to do this sewing, Mother's actually done a few what they call street side stalls, or in those what they call food market stalls, but they don't get a really good income. When you start to look at what they're charging for rent, those little stalls in the actual place, and it's a big competition, and it takes you a long time to get established in those what they call markets. She's had 3, I think over the last 10 years, she's had 3 goes at actually doing those market cooking stalls. They're a lot of hard work, and they're very little reward, because getting into the most popular ones, they're basically the established what they call stalls. They take all the custom, and if you're trying to get yourself known and the locals picking your choice of fried chicken over the guy just across the 2 rows across, it takes a long time. Whereas I've been sort of talking to Peck. I think we've talked about Peck and Shop Steaks. Although he's got his eatery at home, and we could definitely put that on the side of the estate here. We could make a little sort of cafeteria on the side, and it's only going to cost maybe sort of 300,000 baht to put a little what do you call it, eatery place out the side. I don't know how the estate would go with the rules and all that sort of stuff. But Mother's a great cook, as I said. Peck's told me the fact that he does more business on Grab these days since he moved from down the bottom of the street than he does with the local people eating there. And he makes a good income. He's actually about ready to put a new annex over the top of where his little cafeteria on his house. And it's a very popular thing for Thai people to do, and it's something I would definitely entertain to sort of get Mother earning an income as well. See, I don't mind investing in things that dissipate the overall cost of living, if you know what I mean. Like I said, I invested 200,000 baht in Chanya in her hairdressing business, which now gets her an income, right? Which means it doesn't come out of my pocket. And again, if I put an annex sort of side on the building there, the potential for Mother to earn an income, which means that she's contributing to the household running. That means it doesn't come out of my pocket. That's sort of smart investments as far as I'm concerned. They might not be investments that I can sort of put on my asset register, but they're investments in life, if for want of a better word. So that could be another option for us.
Yep.
So
what we found when we in our estate was it's quite big and it looks similar to the one you looked at. Is we now have 4 milk bar type operations, a couple of takeaway food places. It's really convenient. But you can buy beer and everything you want, sort of 24/7. And you just ring up and they'll ride their bike down with your takeaway and. How old is your estate?
I think they probably, the last time we were there, they basically had sold the last of them. So I think it took about maybe 5 years to build from start to woe. So.
Yeah, right, yeah. So I know this one here, well, I didn't mention in the video, the estate fees, the monthly fees are 500 baht a month. That's for the gate service and the closed circuit TV. You actually pay that. You're contracted to pay that for 3 years. So when you buy, you have to. I don't know whether you actually pay it all up front or not. Maybe you do pay it all up front, but that basically guarantees you 3 years of what they call gate fees. Normally, the gate fees then run through until the end of the sale process, as you said, 5 years to sell everything in the estate. So after 5 years, then that once everything's sold, usually the gate services don't allow people coming in and out, depending on the establishment. Not Laniel, but I think there's Sapalai. They're very critical about letting people into the estate. They're a very
we have guards. So we have 2 guards and a boom gate, and and they're 24/7, and they ride around every couple of hours the whole estate on their push bike to check.
So in a state like where we're living in here, this is the Diamond Saduk, which is part of Murban Sipet. So there's actually 6 estates inside the overall Murban being sort of a community. Get used to that terminology, Murban. So we're Murban Sipet. They all have different names. Family Thai channel, g'day, hey, good morning, how are you? His name's Paul, by the way. And Bill Simpson, good morning. Yeah, we're doing quite well. We're just preparing for the 4th of July there for the Americans that are with us. They're about ready to go and set off the fireworks. No, I didn't get any fireworks ready to shoot off. But yeah, so after this, I think once you buy in, you've got 3 years of estate fees. And then you're really asked to continue. Like here, we have monthly monthly meetings. Now we only rent, so it's actually not our responsibility. I don't even know. I believe a renter doesn't have to pay the estate fees. A person who owns the house needs to pay the estate fees because it's their house and their property that they're protecting, as opposed to the people inside. So it's one of those. It's a weird one, but I think out of the maybe we may have 20, 40, 60, and we may have 100 townhouses in our estate here. I think only about 20 of them actually pay their estate fees now, and it's always a constant monthly drive to get people to pay their monthlies. People just don't see the worth of the value in it. This is typically what happens in Thailand. I know a friend of mine, Bob, up in he's north of Bangkok. He religiously pays, I don't know, I think he's moved up to Chiang Mai now, but he was paying his estate fees, but 3 of the houses around him don't, right? But those estate fees also covers the garbage service. Right, and they still put their garbage out, expected to be picked up, and of course it's a Thai thing, and the garbage collection, they'll still pick it up whether you're fucking paying your fees, because the garbage collection service don't know whether you paid your fees. They just come and pick up the service, and it gets to be a bit of a real sore point between the locals, and he was telling me about some of the things the difficulties he had in the estate. Again, he's just a farang, he can't do anything, but it's just the way it goes over here. That's why they get you to pay the estate fees for the first 3 years up front, or sometimes it's up the first 5 years up front. It comes with the price of the house. The first 5 years of, they just throw it into the house price, just so that you're covered for 5 years. It's not much, but it's it means the fact that they got a ready coffer to pay for everything, and they can pay the gatekeeper fees and the guy that sits on the gate. He's only earning 300 baht a day anyway, so it's not expensive. Yep, we've lost Dalo. We've lost Dalo. He's pressed the wrong button. But yeah, so this is where we're going anyway. Well, we still don't know. This is the most obvious place. The one that Chanya's eyes really have lit up on, this 4-bedroom with the nice little balcony. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed that everything comes through with the home loan. I don't think we would go for the one on the end. I think we'd go for the one here, the one in the front of, well, the one in the front just here. That was, I think, that was the 4 million, or no, that was 4.6 on the end, and this was 4
One on the
million.
end's got a clong near it, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's
of some
right on
sort?
the one on the end's got the clong right beside it as well. So I could potentially throw a frickin' fishing line into the clong there and do some fishing.
That's the only thing that put me off. The one on the right was near the clong.
Clongs actually don't breed mosquitoes. It's a bit of a misnomer. It's the stagnant water breeds mosquitoes. The clongs are full of fish.
I was thinking of the monitor lizard, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any monitor lizards in there. I think you got you a little bit overamped.
And maybe just the smell. Just the smell. That's the only thing that might put me off.
Oh, there was no smell. It is actually a running clong, and it is a serviceable clong. Let me just quickly go over to here. I'll bring up a Google map. I'll give you an idea of the location where it was. We were out there the other week. I did put, so it was there. Sabai, Pariwan.
Mind you, if they ran boats up and down the clong to get into Bangkok, it would be really good.
It's not big enough for the clong because there's, I think, there are a couple of gates across there. This clong here, it's a bit hard to see it. Well, let's. Where were we? I did put a pin on.
Probably take a single boat in there or something.
There's the estate there. So that's the estate going up. That was taken. That was map data image 2020, so it's earlier this year. So it's a very new estate. There's only about maybe 4 or 5 houses occupied in there at the moment. Those are the first ones they built. Those were the ones I think when we walked around. That was the one that had the annex all around, right to the very footing of the house. But yeah, so that's the clong there. It goes from the Tar Chan River, and it does go all the way down into here. I don't know where it goes to after there. So it's basically it's a water drainage clong.
Which is not good. No.
Well, you know, people think that all the sewer goes into these clongs. They don't. The sewer is a completely separate service. But yeah, so it's so that's the Sai C. So there is a clong that goes down the centre of this road here as well, or a water drainage. So it probably services that as well.
Something to investigate before you bought that.
Oh yeah, well it didn't smell, so it's that was the one thing that we were looking at. It's not a very fast-moving clong, but there will be a sluice gate here as well, somewhere along here. I don't know if we can actually see it. Probably around here. There'll be a gate to stop it from, stop the rising river. It's fairly well into the river. Of course, this map here doesn't give you too much of the overall height, but where like the footing that they'd built here, it was fairly well raised. So there was 1 metre between the clong and the service road. And the service road is actually going through some upgrades right now. I'm
just reading this article here. It says on just a bit off the topic a little bit, but it says Bangkok struggles with polluted canals. On a humid monsoon night, shortly after midnight, Thailand's favourite pop star swerved off the road and plunged his black BMW into one of Bangkok's canals. He was pulled from the water with minor injuries, yet is dying of fungal brain infection. I always wondered about that. If you fell in, what would happen? The reason doctors say is the Bangkok's canal water is so dirty that it is seeped into his head wounds. It poisoned him and left him in a coma. The doctors say his chances of survival are slim. The tragedy for the singer with the band has embarrassed the government and awakened ties to the peril in their midst. that they have long preferred to ignore the foul waters of the 20-odd klongs or canals that crisscross Bangkok.
Yeah.
Official studies show that the bacteria contamination in all waterways is 75 to 400 times over the permitted limit. There's no question about it. Canals in Bangkok aren't dirty; they're filthy, said Vajan Samachaya, water quality chief at the city's pollution control department. In the 19th century, the klongs feeding into the meandering Chao Phraya River were the city streets, boats its main mode of transport, and the Venice of the East its nickname. 3/4 of Bangkok's 400,000 inhabitants lived in houseboats, and the rest in houses on stilts or on canal banks. The city centre was the river itself. An enduring image of Thailand is the floating markets, canals chock-a-block with wooden canoes laden with fruits and vegetables, paddled by women in conical hats. But today, excuse me, most of the canals have been filled in for roads, houses and shops. Those that remain present a frightening sight. In their thick brown water float dead animals, rusty pesticide cans, used condoms, and chunks of rotting garbage. A report by the Pollution of Control Department found that Bangkok's 9 major canals were way too dangerous for any use except public transport. I can go on if you want, but
no, that's right. But we are talking about Bangkok Centre, like this section of the map that I got on screen right now. That's the sort of area we're talking about. These are the central klongs in Bangkok, and yes, you can walk past some of them, and no amount of gas mask can stop you from the smell. They are filthy. When we're getting out to this far west, it's a different story.
I remember that.
Yeah, it is.
I remember the smell. Oof.
Yeah, it's a different story.
I invited my brother over. He had his T-shirt over his head as we were going down them.
Yeah. So we're on this one's on Bangar, and I said what I was getting at before was the fact that we are, the road is a metre above the Klong. You've got all this area here, which in the event these rice fields, they will flood, right, and take a fair amount of water in the potential of any flood. And the estate has been built up an additional metre above the road. So we're a good 2 metres above, which would potentially still cover us for any potential disaster with Bangkok flooding. And I think that's what's been happening with all the new estates. They've looked at the worst case scenarios from 2011, and they've gone 0.5 metre above that total height from 2011. That's all the new estates that have been built now. It's like an ordinance that they've done. There's nothing really written in hard concrete law, but yeah, this is what we're sort of seeing with all the estates, the extra fill. The only thing that concerns me about the estates is the fact that I think in Australia, these areas that they fill in, I think they've got to be filled for 5 years before they're allowed to build on them. Is that right? Somebody can correct me on that. I think they need to have a 5-year settling period before you're allowed to build on a filled in anything. Whereas I think Thailand they allow only 1 year. So they've got to fill in, and it's got to be sort of they've got to level it out for a year before they're allowed to build on it. Thankfully, these houses here, I was looking at the construction of some of the ones that are just going up now, and the sort of the concrete pillars and
what's the name of the place where you are? What's the name of the place you thought?
I don't have the name directly, and I'd have to go and find the brochure.
Klong San Sub, is it next to there?
Well, here it is here on the map. The map's there for you, so you can see the map.
Klong San Sub.
It's sort of Bang Yang, they call it. I can't actually see the name there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at another Klong here, yeah.
Right, but that's the Klong there. That's the estate doesn't even have a pin on it because there's nobody to.
As I said, you'd just have to investigate it if you were going to buy to get impartial advice, because even growing vegetables in your yard could be problematic,
Parami House. That's the only pin we've got to go off there. But that's the guy's
seepage.
house.
The seepage from the Klong would be definitely, like if you live right on it, it would be right under your land,
Oh yeah, you've got to worry about those sort of things as well. But it's the way that these sort of things work. The footings, the thickness of the concrete slab. You on these sort of things. You float on the land that does go through a subsidence process, because once they drain the area and they fill it in, right, it's a clay undersoil, right. I think they got something like 4 to 5 meters of clay underneath the sea level. And that eventually shrinks over time. And this is one of the problems we got in Bangkok, I think, in the Bangkok Central, right? That's the problem with these buildings. They're going to take the footings down, I think, 30 metres and then sink the pillars, before they can actually hit bedrock.
Also, too, there's one article here. It's talking about the virus. In the slum communities near the Klongs and all that too. It says this Malawan works in the city at a large logistic company where she spends most of the time scared about getting it at work. Some virus that's coming off the Klong, some bloody thing. I don't know what it is. That's another issue. Very densely populated. Just trying to look here. There's a lot of issues associated with it, put it that way.
Oh yeah. But when you get into the rice fields, I think you won't get. It's probably the worst is what they call rice field rats. They don't get that dirty. The water, obviously, every time it rains heavily, those Klongs, the water does move out. I'm just flicking through the pictures here while we're talking. Of this particular guy's house, he's done He's done a nice thing. He's taken lovely photos. It complements my video. People were asking about the railing, that because in the house we looked at, that's one with the railing finished. So yeah, they do put railings on it. The kitchen space is pretty decent sort of size for Thai style. We went out to do Chai and Nan's house blessing yesterday. That video's in the can. I'll get that video out in a couple of days. But again, shows you, we did those houses when we went and did the view of that place, right, and how they do the lovely decorations. And then, of course, now I'm not trying to diss Chai and Nan. They have limited budget for doing all the prettiness of the house. But
what do you think of the ceiling? I don't like the ceiling that much.
That one there.
That style. Yeah, the style they use for that one. That's common. It's very common in Thailand, but I don't.
Well, it gives you the cavity. It gives you the cavity so you can run extra sort of wiring.
They used to use it for conduits, electrical conduits. Yeah.
It makes wiring and conduits a bit easier.
Yeah. I don't think they were all like that, but I don't like those crisscross ones.
No, I didn't. I didn't really detract from it. It means we've got options to put down lights and everything else. I think the one we were looking at had down lights. That's just what he's done. I think that's an option he's put in.
Down low. Had down low.
Down low, down lights.
Down low.
What are they talking about? What are the guys chatting about in the conversation? Eagle has landed. We're on to if people illegally discharge into, then there might be an issue. Otherwise, it'd be fine. That's what, Bill. Again, we're talking about farm. This is out west, and it's in Nakhon Pathom. It's not in Bangkok directly. We're actually over the border. Different set of ordinances, and I think we got a different crowd of people as well. People realise that those waterways are vital, right, for dissipating water and moving water out, after rains, and so they tend not to pollute them. And every so
like
often,
Australia, you probably wouldn't build near a sewer if you had a choice. But even though the sewers are far more controlled, but ideally you wouldn't build it there because it's not as saleable if you want to sell it again, or not as sightly either. I mean, I don't know. It's if you don't care about it, it's okay. But
the thing that I did think I mentioned on the video is the fact that there was no obvious smell. That was a hot day, and there was no smell coming from the Klong, right? Apart from the typical, smell of the greenery and the rice fields around you. That it actually had. It
seemed pretty narrow too.
Yeah, it had a nice, fresh, what they call rural smell, because we are right in the middle of all these rice, rural smell, as in like the smell. You can smell the grass. You can smell. God, Stephen, you have got a weird imagination. Was it? Yes, you do see the old ploy waffles floating down. Ploy. Odd ploy waffles.
Condoms, I think he's talking about.
Oh, ploy waffles. Yeah, is that what he's talking about? Is it?
I think so. I've never heard the
a
expression.
far canal. A far canal really stinks. Oh, okay. So he's talking about the fact that he can smell one from a bit of a distance away. The good thing
they
is
do get monitor lizards in there.
Yeah, we went on a hot day. Monitor lizards are going to have I know they can scale these walls, but
fuck. You'd shit yourself, wouldn't you? You just bought the house and you walk out in the morning, you've got a fucking great monitor lizard there. Oh, Jesus.
Make for a good video. What are you talking about? As the locals, part of the security. I think the security team should get rid of it.
Probably spend the next few hours just crying over your house plans.
Yeah. Bill Simpson, stuck in Florida. So Bill Simpson, it's only highlight your name when you type somebody else's name and will not highlight it. Yeah, whatever. Okay, something just chatting amongst yourselves. Sewers are way underground in Australia. They're called easements. Most houses has one. Yeah, Bill Simpson. I should change my name to Stuck in Melbourne. Andy's Victorian. We've annexed Victoria from the Australians to sort of 7 states of Australia. Australia now only has 6 states. They don't want to talk about Melbourne and Victoria anymore. Yes, my name has become quite blasé with everybody being stuck. Yeah. Anyway, so I think the next part of the discussion we're going to look at some of the other prices. Now, one of the problems we see
before you go on, the article "Bangkok struggles with polluted canals." Guess who it was written by?
Who?
China Daily.
China Daily.
As if they're experts on filth. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right.
China Daily.
Yeah. Anyway, so so I thought, well, I've got a couple of websites here that we'll go through and have a look at some of the stuff, the pricing. Right. So I've just left it open, any property type. So we'll just look at sort of what's available. So I've selected non-chem. So this now, if you give us a location in Bangkok, we can definitely sort of drill down and have a look at what's available here in those locations as well. George, I'll just call you George. How are you doing, George? I don't want to embarrass myself. And as you can see, there's a couple of other real estate agents we can probably have a look at as well. I believe they have their own. Oh no, they've actually bought into the Thailand property. They don't have a website. I thought that we might be look at their website, but do they have a website? Contact line. Yeah, this is a problem we really find here now. Unlike
a lot of them don't have websites.
Well, Australia's so into the technology and I'm pretty sure America and get the idea. The West is so into the web. This is something that's still very much in its infancy over here, and Thais are really funny when it comes to this sort of thing. Half the property in Thailand is listed through local agents only, and like this one here, Imani. If we open that in a new tab, we go to their position here. As I said, they said it's got 4,255 properties that they advertise. Do they have a website? No. Right? They don't. A property management firm like Imani, right? You'd think they'd have a website, wouldn't you? Right? But no. This is a very anti-Thai. You can contact them via email, I believe. No, well, they want your phone number. Okay, they're going to call. They got a line. You can contact them online. You got them on WhatsApp, and they got a telephone number. But primarily, people don't advertise. I think this is probably the Thailand property is probably about the one.
I think it stems out of that word of mouth thing, because don't forget, a lot of property in the same way as Thais do, and so a lot of it's just word of mouth.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing. So there
Probably
are
where it stems from.
like the estate that we're looking at is not listed on Thailand property, right? I think whether the Thailand property is charging too much to get a listing, I really don't know what the ins and outs are. So, but really primarily what I'm getting at is the fact that half the property in Thailand, you've got to be in the know, or you've got to know somebody here in Thailand that plays the game, because it's all kickbacks, right? It's like
a closed society.
It's a closed society kickback scenario, right? This guy knows that guy because he drinks beer with him, but that guy, he gets a case of beer from this guy if something goes through, and you get the idea, right? And it's very, very closed, and it's all word of mouth. It's like Thai family, right? Again, so we had a recent bereavement. Grandfather, Chanya's father's father passed away the week before last. And we had a week worth of visiting the temple and funerals and all the funeral rites and the cremation. We actually are there, and when they put in the guy in the oven, unlike in Australia, where it's all closed off to you. If you're doing cremation in Australia, you got the nice little sort of enclosed room there where they do all the thing, and then the coffin will go through a little hatch on a conveyor belt, but you don't actually see the thing being put in the fire. In Thailand, no, they actually put it on a slide, and they actually shove the thing in the fire. That's part of part of the funeral rite.
View the body. You can view the body before it's put in.
That's right, and they lead. It's open casket, right? And you are putting things in.
Coconut on the.
Yeah, you're putting things into the fire.
I'd
have loved to have videoed this, but I thought it was a bit impersonal to video it. There was a few photos taken throughout. There were some photos in our Facebook page, but it was really an interesting. I've never been to a funeral like that before. I know we're getting off topic.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, you leave your personal stuff in there. Like I left a tie with my best mate when he died. Inside the coffin, but I didn't choose to dab coconut on his head. I didn't want to see him really. Just put the tie on top of the coffin when it closed.
So what get me is the fact that we see in the first day of the rite, he's on the mat, and we lift him. Oh, I didn't, but the family lift him into the coffin. They say their funeral rites, and they actually seal the coffin, right, with gaffer tape or masking tape, and that coffin sits there on that stool in that temple location for 7 days, right, and then on the 7th day they actually open that, they take the lid off, right. I was surprised I didn't fall over. There was actually really very little smell. There was a good breeze blowing through the thing, but I don't know whether they'd already embalmed him or something. I really don't know what was the prior, because that was that first day of the rite, he went through an embalming process before they was put out in the temple. So
you wouldn't buy a house near one, put it that way.
But yeah, so the temple's there, and you got the funeral, you got the fire. I think they got 7 rooms, and all 7 were occupied with each of those families. But what I was getting at was the close nature of the family. So I only really see Mother and Chanya and B and Ben and Pa on a weekly basis, but when it comes to a funeral, I got to see the whole extended family, right, from his lineage and all the associated connections, and there's there's quite a lot, and it's a closed group, and they're all into different things, and family takes care of family first. So if there was one of our family was into real estate, and I believe there is one, but unfortunately the real estate he's doing is not in the area we want. That's why we haven't gone to him, and he has nothing in the area. So that's why we haven't leveraged that word of mouth family. But some of these connections that Chanya's coming up of things that people have mentioned to her. Family have mentioned. Oh, have you talked to Joe Smith out this way? He's got an estate going up, or his friend's got an estate. And this is how it all works out. That's how Chanya found this one, for instance. And it really is quite bizarre. And it's something you really have to sort of get used to and get your head around, because it's. But anyway, what we want to do is going to look at some of the prices and what you can buy, what your dollar's going to buy. I suppose I should get my phone out ready to do some conversions for you people. You might notice recently in the videos I've been putting out there, every time I mention a price, I've been putting Australian dollars there, so you don't have to get your calculator out. I thought it's probably just a little thing I've been thinking maybe people don't know how to do conversions. And look, oh God, we've actually climbed 21.6 the Australian dollar. Australian dollar's gone up. Look at that, cool. It went invisible.
Don't spend it all at once.
It went invisible because it's actually a blue graph. Anyway, let's go up the charts. And so this first one, we'll start with the non-cam area. Stephen can keep a check in the chat there to see if I miss anybody else that wants to look at a particular area. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Biggest Dickus. We're not going to start laughing about that name, are we? But nice of you to join us. Gotta love that movie. What was his wife's name in that movie? Well, it was A Life of Brian. So his name was Biggest Dickus, and he had married to somebody who was an eccentric buttocks or something. That's not too bad compared to here. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to look at the fact that location. Now, if I think Google Maps. Let's just go back to a mapping so we get an idea. Let's go back off there. Enough talking about that location. Oh, by the way, it is really right in the middle of rice fields, which means there's a big sea just on the corner of this road here on the map.
7-Eleven.
The 7-Eleven, but there'll probably be a 7-Eleven going in the estate or across the road. I just don't, I can't even say inconscious buttocks, something like that. That was his wife's name. Had everybody laughing. So we got a big sea down here in Omyai. We've done videos from there. That was the hospital that I went to when I had the kidney stone removed, and there's a nice golf course out here which is quite popular. I think it's very salubrious. I don't know what the Rose Garden Golf Club fees are like, but I may investigate that. You never know.
Be upwards of 2,000 baht.
That was the Chatar Tamachat with a Balinese style coffee house. That's where that location is in comparison. There's the Sampran Elephant Zoo. So it gives you an idea where it is. And of course up here we've got Wat Don Wai, the floating market up there, the Inn Garden Hut Cafe, and there's Tree of Love Riverside. That was one we couldn't get into. They closed the doors. And up in here, After the Rain Coffee, that was a recent coffee house we went to. And then Central Salia, I think I haven't done a mall walkthrough there. So it's actually not bad. It's right central for all those locations. But where we are, this is non-cam. This is the basic area of the province now, and that covers that whole area of non-cam. Moving further down, that's Bangkok. That's the next province down. We've done visits to the mall there, and then we're doing Prasar Charon, which is that's the next province. Not province. What do you call it? What do they call it? It's not Amphor. Amphur? How do you pronounce it?
Ampur.
Ampere,
I think.
Ampere, right. Ampere is the same as like a council.
Pound.
Yeah, town council. Yeah, town council. So every governor, there's a governor of each of these, like the puyai. What's a puyai of your estate or your muban, right? And that puyai talks to the puyai in your town council on your estate's behalf. That's the sort of the hierarchical system that they've got. It's very, very. We don't have it in Australia. We've got council, Hornsby Council. That's it. You can elect to be a councillor, right? But you don't have any real governing area per se, and you don't really need to be even living in the area to be a town councillor even these days, as far as I know. It's quite bizarre. Yeah, and so what I'm getting at is this is obviously looking at closer, and we can look at all these different areas. But let's just start with the non-chem area. Have a look at what's available, on that real estate area for non-chem. Okay, so the first one that's listed here is 1,450,000 baht. So, in a relative term, this is about the same distance from Sydney that we were in Hornsby. So Hornsby house prices for Sydney were going on average for $1 million. So when we do the calculation, right, so if we look at 1,450,000, $67,000 for a townhouse. So let's have a look at the townhouse. Open a new tab. Not the most salubrious. It looks like it's on a battle axe block. Looking at the front of the house there. Very narrow, gaudy looking. It's a renovator. It's a 2-story. Not ideal, but for somebody, a single guy, right? Would probably like, I don't know how many. Did it just say how many rooms it was? So it's 2-bedroom townhouse. PopeKael 81, so it's up near Shop Steaks where he's moved to. 2 bedrooms, so it's 18 square wah. I suppose I'm going to need to freaking do conversion there. I don't. So Google does something better on this. How do you spell? They say wah.
What? Sorry.
Wah conversion. How do you spell wah?
WAA.
Is it wah? So I think we're going to use a different converter. What was it?
Or WAH.
What's their basic? They call it? What's their basic conversion or their property size?
Not rye.
Rye. Yeah.
Not rice. Rye.
Okay. Siam legal. Convert. Okay. So this is what I was looking for, a table. So 1 square wire is 4 square meters. So the property. Oh, let's get rid of that. I don't need that.
Where the word wire comes from.
So 18 square wire floor size. This is the total size inside. It's 18 times 4. So 36, 72. So 72 square meters is the internal size of the house, which is it's not too shabby. But as I said, it's I'd have to sort of say, just looking at the photos there, you'd be spending another $1 million baht to freaking get it clean.
I think Dowler used to be one of my students.
Key features.
He asked the same sort of. He asked some of the same questions. He says, "What's the big C mean in big W?" Big. What is it in Big C? Yeah, what's the C mean? I mean, you're talking about all sorts of things, and that's his question. It's got a conversation going.
Yeah, I know how it goes. Yeah.
I said Big C used to refer to cancer in the Urban Dictionary,
Yeah.
and then Allo said Big C and Jack the Dancer, and then we got it's just fucking
that's as far as
gone
we've
off on its own tangent.
That's right. Just keep an eye on it. Just all right. Anyway, so yeah, like, would I be interested in that? No, I wouldn't, because I can't own it, and it's what they call free mortgage, free transfer. Is it freehold? This is the thing we're looking for: freehold. They normally tell you here, but
What are you looking for?
looking for freehold versus state, because if
Leasehold.
we can't own freehold, you see, we can only take a 50-year lease.
Yeah.
But it's actually not even mentioning being a townhouse. I don't think it's people in the know would know more about that one. No, wouldn't. The photos don't do it any justice. Here's one a little bit more expensive. Again, it's looking quite run down. Some water damage there. Looks like it's even got flood damage. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's the flood. There was 6 inches of flooding when the big floods when came through. That might be just missing skirting boards, of course. Looking at these sort of...
Doesn't look too flash, does it?
No. Yeah, so I would just say that was flood. So that
was in the flooded area.
That was in the flooded area. It took a bit of...
I don't think I'd be buying that one somehow.
Yeah, so, but again, 1.5.
The gate will survive. 1.5. Yeah, you knock it down, obviously.
1,550. This is something we've always had a difference of opinion. They don't. They simply just don't talk about reducing the price. They simply don't.
Maybe that's just block value or something. I don't know.
Pretty much, but the thing is, it's a terrace house. You can't knock this thing down and put something else because it's part of a terrace. It's shared walls, so you can't really do much. You can't.
Otherwise, you knock the whole street down.
Knock the whole street down.
Dominoes.
Yeah, so that was 71,000. They're not the best looking things. Again, this one here probably looks a bit more lived in. There's one that's been done up and it's been painted. 1,650.
So it's a shocker.
Again, it's a fairly narrow. It's a fairly narrow front face on the wall. You only one car space. Don't stand in the freaking mirror when you take the photo. The kitchen out the back there.
The old arches. Yuck.
Are you watching? So you're getting it live in the channel. You're watching it live in the on-air streaming.
Hold on, I better refresh it. No,
don't watch it on the video. So you'll see the photos live without me. That's all. I am sharing it to the stream into the on-air channel.
I don't know what I've done with that now. Oh, there it is. Okay.
When you go to Discord, just click in there. You'll see it there. You can. So you'll be on. Whenever you comment, you're commenting into. So there's the kitchen. I don't like this stuff up on the kitchen walls. The concrete there looks like it's blistered. That needs to be resurfaced. It's not the happiest thing. Upstairs doesn't look too bad, but again, they could probably have done. There's something when they said this when Chanya she did the wallpaper on the shop. I said, why don't we do a coating of anti-mold first before you lay the wallpaper? Oh, we don't do that in Thailand. What the fuck?
I don't like that colour scheme. Oof.
Yeah, this one here needs a fresh coat of paint, but if you're going to do a coat of paint, I'd hit it with the fucking the sugar soap for the first, and then I'd hit it with the fucking paint stripper for second, right? Then I'd hit it with the fucking anti-mold, right? Third, before I did anything.
That's not bad. That one, the red.
That's the main bedroom there. So it's they're calling it a 3-bedroom. We don't actually get to sort of see. So 3 beds, 2 baths.
It's one thing I've noticed about Thais, they're not that good with colours. I don't know, or maybe that's a miscalculation.
Well, it does stand. I think the colour on the one next to it, that creamy, sandy colour looks better than this one. Ugh.
Yeah.
But
It makes it look more regal as well. But
yeah. Colour schemes in Thailand, it's a bit of a worry. So let's get into something. This is something. This one here is 2 bed, three bed, 2 bath. That's a bit of an advertisement there.
don't use the word colour, Warren. You'll upset somebody.
Let's moving up. Let's find something. 3-bedroom townhouse, non-chem, 2.3 million. We got this is non-chem townhouse, 80 square metres. It's a little bit bigger because the 3-bedroom, 2-bath is located in non-chem. It's not really doing much more from that. You can request details. But let's have a look at the photos of this one. Maybe we'll get a snapshot outside.
Bit more modern.
A bit more modernised.
Porcelain tiles. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Oh, God. What's happened there? This is what I mean about the colours ideas. They've got no idea what is
tiles,
that.
Unfortunately, you have to retile.
Probably some of it has to do with their budget too. They can only afford certain
This
tiles.
looks like, looking at the actual shape of that roof there, this is actually added to the back. It's added to the back of the house, like we've got, our lean back as well, but they're fully enclosed. This one, ours is open.
I thought that was wallpaper, but they're actual tiles.
They're actual tiles.
Oh God, look at this one too. Oh, it's not too bad, I suppose. That's a bit better, a bit dull. Oh God, what is that? Turquoise.
It's similar to what we've got here, not the actual overall shape, but
yeah, that bottom part, that one there is similar to what you've got.
Yeah,
it's an entry.
Probably just reversed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely similar.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like from the front. So it's a similar sort of style structure. This one here has obviously got a balcony. We don't have a balcony on the front of ours. Not that you really call it a balcony. Jesus. Oh no, we do have a balcony. Ours just looks a bit different. You can actually get a chair in our balcony. But it's actually definitely sort of something would be an option. Right, it's pre-loved. Yeah, probably going to spend $500,000 to retile.
They've got all this security. Do they really have that many break-ins in Thailand? I doubt they do. People would be too afraid to.
It's more, I think.
The windows,
it's a sheeple mentality. You do it because everybody else does it. You put the things on.
They put glass on the brick walls as well. They cement that in. I don't know whether they do that on a new house, but.
Yeah, so it's 106,000 baht. So given the location from the city, we've got the MRT coming through in the next 5 years. If you're going to be, you'd have to commute to Bangkok. When the MRT's here, that's going to give you a 45-minute commute, which is about what a commute to Sydney, like into the city would be from Hornsby. So it gives you, so as a comparison, as I said, it's not a luxurious, 4-bedroom house with yard and everything else, but for $106,000, it's not bad at all. It's just that if you could own it, I'd probably go for it. But they're not actually mentioning whether it's freehold. Request details. Yeah, see, they used to have the stuff here before, but probably because it's an agent. It's an agent selling, so estate corner agency. Love the names. But yeah, so it'd be something that I would entertain, sort of, as an option. If push comes to shove, and 2.3 is definitely.
It's not flash, but it's functional. It's got everything you need.
So if we get an idea what it costs, so let's do the whole deposit, $500,000, leave the AP out 5,000, right? And do
only about 60 grand, 80 grand or something.
Yeah, we do 25-year terms. So that would put my mortgage repayment at 10,549, right? So that's definitely
which is just an average rental.
It's like, well, we're paying 9,000 baht a month rental here at the moment. So see where the whole thinking process is. Yes, I would entertain that. It's going to save
as you say, if everything goes pear-shaped, we hope it doesn't, but if everything did, you're no worse off because you're just paying what you would have anyway.
And she's got a good 15% down payment on the house, so that gives her a kickstart somewhere else if she can't afford that. That sort of
people say it's sinister to talk about these things, but you've got to be realistic. They're very real.
That's exactly right. You've got to think about the reality of the situation, don't you?
You can't rely on the goodwill and the niceties of people, and plus you're in a different country. It can all go very bad if it does. But I don't think it would in your case. But I mean,
we've been together 11 years.
It's certainly you've got the runs on the board. Same as I'd be very surprised if anything happened to Mayor Groves. There's certain cases, that you say, oh yeah, they're pretty stable, but others you would say they're not so stable.
Okay, let's go into what I'm property type. Let's see what we got. I don't think we've got any condos here. Have we got any condos?
I don't mind the idea of a condo as long as the body corporate's not too.
This way, okay, we do have some condos to look at. So we haven't. Let's look at. I personally don't like condos. I lived in what they call a flat. I think Americans would call them. I don't know what they call them in America. Like so, probably the best way to.
I think I think they call them condos in America. I'm not sure. Augie could help there.
Let me go and find another map. We'll do a street view, right, of Hornsby. Right, so to give you an idea of, probably I may even get an idea of the one I lived in if I find it. So scrolling in, Central Coast, Hornsby, Hornsby, where I forgot where I lived. Okay, so let's get right down here, Hunter Street, there's the roundabout there, right, and let's do a street view down here. Okay, that was not it. It was a bit further down the street.
I think I've been there, actually. It's a nice little town.
Right, so these are what we call flats. Right, it's a colloquial term, I think. That's a fairly large one, but actually it might not have been Hunter Street. It was the next street along. Oh, come on, let me just escape back out. It wasn't Hunter Street, it was Albert Street.
Apartment connotes a more higher, more formal to, like a higher standard of living. But
81 Albert Street, that was it.
Flat is just any little.
Right, so I didn't really want to do that. Not getting a nice street-lined street, but I can't actually see 81. It's all behind those trees. Let's just go down a bit further. But this is giving an idea of what they look like. So in this one here, you've got there's a share.
There's boxes. They just look like boxes, really.
You've got so imagine that floor divided in half there. That's probably a shared bathroom. Shared wall on a bathroom there. The flat is this side here, right there. So it's hard to really get an idea. It's probably maybe 100 square metre floor space. We lived on the top floor of I think it's this. It could even be that could even be the building. Not much parking space. I don't think they actually have parking space for these flats. I really can't remember. It's so long ago. Everybody had to park in the street. But there's 1, 2, 3, 6.
It's the shoebox, isn't it?
So it's either 6 or 12. That might be six flats. Right, 1, 2, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. So there was 6 flats in that room there, and there was 6 on this side. So it was 12 on that total footing. That's a 4 lease there, McGrath. That was McGrath.
Mr. Mitch says, I call apartments togetherments. I haven't heard that before.
So I don't know what you would call that in America, whether you would call that an apartment. Apartments over here in Thailand are one room bed sitters. Like that's it. It's one room with an air conditioner. I think we did a video of that recently. I think it was one of the things for the private group. But yeah, so I could go and find that video for you. If I just go to videos.
An apartment building complex is any group of more than 4 that are rentals and not for sale. That's the definition somebody's just put up.
Yeah, studio. I think we call them studio apartments in Australia. Let's scroll back. It was beginning of this year. Not there.
Apartment building complex, any group of more than 4. And on holidays now.
Sometimes it's easier to find this shit on my fucking website than it is anywhere else. Bangkok Games Expo. Why is it not coming up? Viewing as a subscriber. That's why, because you can't see that.
I mean, we call them flatmates quite commonly here in Perth. By flatmates is the name of a company that rents out flats. A one-bedroom flat, we call them.
Mm-hmm.
You got your granny flats, but we still have studio and one-bed apartments, homestays.
Oh, here it is. Yes, this is. I did this video. We've only got a few views on it because it went out to a select group. I actually did this for Stephen. Get an idea, So just giving you a bit of a. I won't play the. Oh, I suppose I can play. It's my video. I can play my audio. It's not really open. So we're going to walk into one of the rooms here. This is on the ground floor. Now, what she tells us is the fact that the ground floor is more expensive than the top floors, and they vary in price. Ground floor is 6,000 baht per month, and the top floor is 4,500 baht per month.
This one,
This one, yeah, 6. Yeah.
And
now, it's again, sort of, like. So that was 4,600 baht. For 1 month rent in this. It's a single. It's like a hotel flat, but there's no hotel service.
Very cheap.
Yeah, 4,600. So that's $212 a month. Like, it's not the flashiest thing, but when you start to think of hotel, it's private for everybody. You've got a double bed, you've got air conditioning, right? You've got a shower and bar. You've got a shower recess. There's no hot water service, but it's cold water. You don't need hot water anyway. It's got your toilet, it's got your sink there. That's the thing, that's a common comment that not many people really understand. And something I also mentioned, in those houses we looked at in this one here, they've put the showers in, but they don't have hot water service. Hot water service is something you would put in extra.
It's not a big deal.
Would I put in a hot water service? Personally, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I've been here for 4 years. I've done without it for 4 years. I've never needed hot water. Okay, it's a bit of a luxury when we go out somewhere or we go and stay at a hotel and, we got hot water. it's a bit of a novelty.
Only a couple of $100. You'd have it all set up, I think.
Yeah, but you honestly do not need a hot water service. Having
said that, I had cold water for years, but when I finally did have a hot shower in Thailand, I thought, oh wow, that's nice.
Mm. Yeah, it's a nice thing, but to me, I just don't.
You don't need it. You don't need it. No, you can get by with that.
I don't miss it at all. As I said, they're not the flashiest thing, but if you're not going to live in a place,
there's nothing wrong with that one. It's functional, isn't it? It's got everything you need.
Definitely an option, but of course. Yeah, so that's it. It's primarily functional, and downstairs, and this is across from the thing. They got little shops there. So this is what you typically find in these apartment areas. It's usually well serviced. Right, now the next one we were going to, this one here, the location. This one was just saying just across the road from Big C, and there's the main road to Bekasam. Where are we? So. Here's the next one here. This is a bit of a
some sort of arrangement, you know. Why not? To see how things pan out.
this is a
And
bigger.
again, this could be another.
This is a bigger apartment building. A lot more apartments.
Let's go on to see what it looks like inside if we can.
Had a
As
pool,
you can see,
didn't
this
it?
one
It had actually had
to take
lifts.
you upstairs.
The other one had
Same,
you walk
it's
stairs.
$8,500
This one has
a month for these
lifts.
rooms here.
The rooms
Yeah,
are
this was a bit
But we have
nicer.
a lot
little bit
more
bigger.
Facilities.
Bit nicely, nicely done.
There's,
Nice doors and stuff.
facilities
Yeah,
downstairs.
these were. This one here is a bit further out, and it was 8,000 baht a month. That's $370.
Not extremely fast, but
Now I'm paying 9,000 for a house.
you get free. You get
Yeah.
Wi-Fi as well.
Depends what suits your style. I mean, studio would probably suit my style.
This one here.
For a single person,
Have TV.
they give you a TV. It has air conditioning.
That's quite modern,
what?
that one, to be honest.
Yeah,
For fish, for water.
Oh, fridge. Oh, have this one. Have fridge. Okay, yeah.
they give you a fridge.
Rock hard mattress.
Yeah, mate, you got to get rid of the mattresses. Again, cold
typically
water.
Thai, no hot water.
There's those
The
roofs
bathroom,
again. See the
you can
roofs?
this
They're
one
very
here
common
has a
feelings.
little balcony, and again,
When friend you want need to come and she can clean
Good
first.
view.
yeah.
So this is again
Right
Petcus
down
right out there.
That's obviously heading into
Bangkok.
Guntep. That blue sign over there, Trombody University. That's the street that Chanya's salon is on. Where it just
All this work and the
forward.
prick didn't
So
even
when
turn
they-
up.
you can actually see in the distance.
Yeah, that's right. I did this, Stephen. This was the video I did for Stephen because he was, planning to come over here.
Well, there must have been a good
these
reason
ones,
why I didn't
they had the bolts in there,
Coronavirus
so
or something.
you could actually, if you were coming in here and you're going to stay for 6 months, you could potentially stay for 6 months in this one place at a very low rental. You could put your own
Nothing wrong with that.
put your own deadlock on the door. Just go to the local hardware store, get a freaking key, padlock, leave all your major possessions, and then travel with a backpack. Do a couple of days in Chiang Mai, do a couple of days in Chiang Rai, do a couple of days in Pattaya, but use this as a base of operation. That was what we were talking about in Stephen's case.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just everything you need, really.
This one,
It's got a fridge, I think.
I think, where was it? Where were we? I was going to the next one here.
Fridge, TV, shower. What else do you want? Balcony.
as well. We'll
So
check the price
this
on
one
the
here was the
downstairs.
biggest of the lot. This one here was 11,000 baht a month.
Oh, okay, a bit big.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, I remember that one. It was huge.
Yeah.
So it's
Have
$509
a seating,
a month.
have an extra thing there.
It had a little slider that you could slide off, so you could
This is more for if you're going to stay longer and you want to put an extra bit of furniture.
you could
and you want
pull
a
that
bit of
across,
privacy.
so you could keep the bedroom
people
separated
come
from
round,
where
you
you
can shut
might
off
put a living room.
A bigger air condition.
Yeah, if you
Bigger
need balcony.
But very, as I said, very, very Thai. Right, and again,
This
the
one actually had
bathroom.
this one actually
Well,
had
this one
hot water.
This bathroom here has the water heater as well, so I guess you'd pay a little bit extra for that. But all in all, it's just what we're looking for. Is looking for options to save some money if you're doing that month-long trip. And this one here is a medium size. So the,
And this one is a medium
the
size
last
one.
one was the larger size. You can get that with
That one was, I think they said 9,000.
And again, has the hot water. Yeah, bigger balcony.
Right, it's got hot water.
Yeah, and had big air conditioning. Foyer.
Getting downstairs, you got
And
the
there's also
foyer.
a little coffee shop just
Coffee
here
shop
inside.
there,
There's
they got a
salon
little-
over there. There's a street cafe.
That's all nice too. You wake up in the
Yeah,
morning,
yeah,
come down, have a
you know,
coffee.
It's really, in one sense, it's like living here in Thailand.
They had a laundry,
The minimum rent is,
laundromat.
of
They
course,
had
for
all
1
sorts of
month. You
things in
can't
here.
rent for anything
on
less.
the
Well,
floor.
you're not so lonely if you
Yeah,
could,
definitely, something that you could
come
You
down, say
can't-
hello to different people.
You can't see it very well, but they had closed circuit TV on all the hallways, so everything's
Information desk.
an information desk. So it was really well self-contained. And I would have said if for the 11,000 baht a month, there's definitely an option. The trouble is, as a foreigner, you don't really get access to these, right? This is very much Thai, and you'll need a Thai friend to set you up. And that's what I said in this video. give Chanya 1,000 baht, and she'll go and set it all up for you. And all you need to do is pay you. I think you paid 2 months in advance, and then every month you paid your ongoings. At the end of it, that deposit you put down, they'll look at they'll look at the damage or anything else like that, and they'll take it off your deposit, before you leave. It's obviously to help them, for skip traces and things like that, people who want to run out without paying their bill. No way, Thais do that as well. Thais can have a job in the local market paying for something like this, right? Then of course, something like, what happened in the last 3 months happens, and that's it. These places they just vacate. They just fucking up. They pick up everything and they just go, and then they leave these poor buildings, to clean up the mess. So yeah.
Anybody on, even a person on a pension who could live here really well. I mean, that's that you're not, you don't feel sick in the stomach because you've got to go home to a slum at night.
And getting back to the whole thing, now these videos are still available. They're not private. They're just unlisted. The only way you can get to it is from my website, or if I post them on my Facebook feed. But trying to find anything in Facebook that's more than 7 days old is impossible. Whereas you can always go to my website, always plug my website. You notice I've also put a tip jar over here. No tips today. Jesus Christ! You're gonna make the little animation work. Just hit that super chat there, and it'll go ding-a-ling-a-ling, and put money in the jar. It's quite cute.
That's about as subtle as you could be, but it was entertaining.
It's entertaining for them when they actually do it. Somebody will do it now just to spite us. Dalla will put his $2.
I did it last week.
I didn't have the tip jar. Didn't have the tip jar working last week. But yeah, anyway. They are available. I will be doing special Patreon only stuff that for Patreons as well. But I do this stuff. I want my community on my website and asking questions and building up my website to help rank my website up. Because I'm going to be doing more with that website as time goes on. As I feel more inclined to do it.
Probably you don't want too many Filungs getting those apartments, and then all of a sudden the Thai authorities get onto it and they stop it, and then that's another bloody thing gone, another loophole gone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't make it public. I'd just keep it like if people want to know privately or on the website or whatever.
So anyway, that distraction was more about we call them apartments, whereas what we just saw there is what a Thai apartment is. We call these things flats in Australia.
They're horrible. They're shoeboxes.
But they're not. Well, you're paying $500 a week for one of these. And that's Hornsby. But anyway, getting back to affordability. So we're not looking at rentals. We're looking at buying. So have a look at this one here. This one here is in Pratamak Condo. I'm not quite sure where that is. And if they're even going to give us okay. So
Pratamak, isn't that where the big market is?
Well, they're giving us a Google map so we can actually find it. So there's Petkasem Road there. Oh no, it's at non-chem. That's 69. Oh, that's 81 there, isn't it? Just trying to get my bearings. That's 69.
Atanak Market, I think it rings a bell.
Oh, okay. Right, sorry, that's Puttamontan. Okay, so there's the BTS. Okay, so now I only got a rough idea. It's a bit, it's quite a fair way south of us. Not as easily serviceable, but that's a big condo unit. Got a rough idea. So
Bangwa, there's the BTS up there, Bangwa, just near the green line.
So there's the railway, there's the suburban railway, there's your MRT there, and there we go, Dowlow, and you see a little animation going there. It comes across there and it just and drops it in the jar. There you go. I thought that was cute. Now people can do that. They can amuse themselves with putting the tips in the jar. Anyway, there you go. He had to demonstrate it for us. But yeah. So where it is,
I should have had a bet on that. I could have doubled my money that Dowlow was going to put it in.
Should have, yeah. When it comes to public transport on this road, no, there is none. That is PopeKael 81. Do you got song towers on this road? I think there is a bus service, but the bus service is like every 30 minutes, and the bus service goes up to PopeKael Road, and it goes between PopeKael Road and this one here, which is the other Western distributor. So that's their suburban railway, which is a piece of shit. I actually want to go.
Dowlow's the sort of guy I want to go for a drink with. He'd always be shouting.
I actually do want to do a video. This is another video we're going to do when you come over here. We're going to get on the suburban railway and actually do this run on the railway. I'm a bit of a train buff and take it all the way down to Somerset. Then
you'll never get back on again.
Then again go across the river to the other extension of this, right, all the way down here, right, and this is the market that has the train goes through it. You know, so it was one of those things. That was a plan for one of the day outs that we were going to do. We'll still do that, Stephen, when you get over here.
I took a train from Isan, it was someplace in Isan, to Bangkok, and it took that long that I jumped off the train while it was still moving. That's how slow it was. I mean, I literally jumped off the train. I thought, and the passengers were looking at me and calling. I could remember them saying, "Baba, baba." I said, "I don't give a fuck. I'm jumping. I cannot sit on here any longer."
Anyway, let's have a look at this condo. Let's have a look at the actual the amenities. Like, looks like it has a pool. It has your kitchen. It's small and compact. There's your living room area. You've got a balcony, it looks like it, overlooking the rest of the condo area. There's your main bedroom. The balcony looks like a decent size.
Yeah. Well, this is getting very modern, isn't it?
Yeah, gecko, right. That's looking out from the balcony. I was to say, this is what you get. This is your view at all the other people. It comes with a gym.
23 grand a month probably for these.
Well, this is a buy. We've got a tennis court, right? So it looks like it's got some nice amenities. So it's 2264. As a foreigner, you can own this, right? So
it's worth considering, isn't it?
Right.
But it wouldn't suit your lifestyle. But I mean,
let me sort of say that again.
I mean, look at all that. Jesus Christ. What's that, about 70 grand?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it up there. 2264 400.
Divided by 21.
$104,000, $105,000 to buy that in that location. So public transport's a problem, but quite salubrious, quite self-contained.
You wouldn't want to go anywhere anyway.
Well, it's got the gym, it's got the pool. Everything. Right, so as a retirement option, because you're not commuting in and out of Bangkok every day, but as a retirement option, what is it? It's 2 bed. It's a 1 bath. How many bedrooms was it?
Probably 2, I'd say.
No, that's not what I'm looking at. At the elegance, view more details.
That price.
I'm just trying to see how many bedrooms. They don't really have a good key features. Air conditioning, CCTV, garden, parking, security. 36 square metres. Okay, it's 1 bath. I'm assuming 1 bedroom. Okay, as a foreigner, you can't rent, you can't get a mortgage, so you'll be paying.
I think they'd put it, wouldn't you? They don't even tell you.
Well, I'm assuming 1 bedroom, simply because of the fact that it's 36 square metres, and it's got 1 bath. So,
might be a studio.
The photos weren't too. That's your kitchen,
still
dining
big enough,
area.
isn't it? Jesus Christ.
Bringing your girls home. The bathroom. They're not really showing the shower area. That well, but
perfect location. So how much a month? Oh, you can't. It's not rental, sorry. It's buying.
It's a buy. So it's $105,000.
I imagine they would have rentals there, though.
Yeah.
So they can
And
find
again,
that.
sort of, I don't like living in that sort of style, but location, if I wasn't with Chanya, and it was just my own space, I've said this 100 times, all I need is freaking an internet connection and I'm happy. I could live there, right, quite comfortably for the rest of my life and probably die in that room. 105,000, I could buy it tomorrow if I wanted to. Not a big deal.
It's
but-
tempting at that price, isn't it? But
Yeah.
It's, but you just don't want to be in a situation where all of a sudden they say, sorry, you can't own it anymore because the ratio of Thais to foreigners is not the right one, or some
Yeah.
obscure thing comes up. You'd want to go through a lawyer, get it done properly. But these ones up here, 4,000 or 5,000, I mean, you're turning into, it's just getting to the point of ridiculousness. What
Okay.
they give you.
Now here's an interesting one at the 4.9 million. It's got 6-bed, 4-bath, 230 square metres.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Let's have a look at that one.
massive.
So, it's an old. I'm guessing it's older. Whereabouts is it in comparison? Well, in Bangkok 46. Thanks, buddy. Don't spend it all on stars over at Sunny Stream. Look, this is something else I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of broadcasting this Saturday morning into my gaming channel, just to to have people from Facebook in there and be part of the program as well. Because some people don't like don't like YouTube, but I was going to start streaming into my Chanya and Wazza's page, but more the discussions about guys just chatting and bullshitting and everything else and the crap that we've gone about, and we may even do a game as well. So I may start streaming it into my Facebook gaming page at some stage, and again you'll be able to access the stars as well. But yeah, it's all working, and all the jingles are working. It's very hard to test it. And anyway, looking at location, where is this location here? This again, it's on PopeKael 81, so it's a little bit. So where we live here, relative to this location, there's our Muban, just here where the hand is. So it's a bit further out, but it's a bit closer. There's a song tower goes up the main road, and it's a bit quicker for the bus to get to the main road. So it's a definitely a sort of location that would be entertaining, right, for a couple. But it looks a bit on the dated side. I don't like the wallpaper, and the photos
6
are
bedrooms,
fucking,
I mean, horrible.
How they've
Dark and dingy. Dark and dingy, it looks.
it's lived in. That's what, 2-story? It's a 2-story. Oh, okay, you've got a little garden plot up above. I can't figure this one out. It's in condos, but this is actually it's actually a townhouse. It's not a condo. It's listed wrong. 6 beds, 4 baths, 280 square metres. It's got a lot of area. Facilities, car parking. Plot size, okay. Single house for sale, okay. 2 stories.
Plot size wouldn't be big. I think they've lost the plot.
Square wa, 74 square wa. Let's go to our conversions.
Square
Square
wa.
wa. 74,
Square wa.
so multiply that by 4. I can't do math today, so I go to my calculator.
280 something.
74 times 4, and of course I didn't clear first. It's 74 times 4 equals 296 square metres. Right, the dates are saying square metres, that's the plot size. So it's actually a fucking decent size compared to where it is and where it isn't, all relative to the areas. That's actually a pretty good bargain. Because you could, on that side, you could do a knockdown rebuild. A knockdown rebuild on that. That gives you 2 at 36. And you could put put a semi-detached or a semi-detached on top of that, 3 bedrooms each side, and sell the other one for about $4 million. That's actually quite a bargain, given the fucking plot size. But anyway, just thinking after, again, it's just, yeah. Investment opportunities. Never know.
Oh, I don't know.
But again, you're stuck with a mortgage. You're stuck with a mortgage, and
You got to know what you're doing, I think.
You got to know what you're doing. You got to have the money down front, because the bank will not let you fucking knock down, do a rebuild, will it?
I think getting too adventurous is probably not a good
Yeah.
idea unless you know what you're doing or you know people.
Yeah.
But even then, you remember you're retiring. You're just going there. Your house is your investment anyway. I mean, you're not going to make
142 square metres. Land is 15 metre by 20 wide. Plus, so it'd be
Initially,
10
when it's all
by
paid
30.
off, that's when you
Yeah.
start to see your investment.
Yeah.
All your money's your own.
Anyway,
Well,
it
eventually,
wasn't
when it's all
a
paid
condo.
off,
I was
those-
looking
those
for
say-
condos. I'm looking for something in a
They say,
2-bedroom.
pissed off, we don't need you. Look at this, 7 million. Jesus Christ.
The elegance. This is the same place. This is a 2-bedroom version of the same place. 7.3 million.
Holy crap.
But let's have a look at. Again, same pool.
Infinity pool.
You've got a kitchen service area. That's your lounge
it's
room.
Beautiful view.
You got nice little balconies. You've got a bath in that one.
Bath. Yeah. You'd want it for 7 million.
Yeah.
You'd want to have a bath in every room. Oh, God.
But of course, non-chem's not the ideal area. So if we look at a bit further down, plus
I think they
Chanya.
pronounce that AM. I think they pronounce that AE as non-cam. Yeah.
Oh, I just hear Chanya say. Right, now getting down more close to the city,
Not
this
having
is where you start to see some of the things like what Tim was sort of staying in when he was living in this area.
These are really affordable. You're now down to 67 grand, 60
look
grand.
at, again, so it's 1 million, 29 square metres.
That's about 30 grand, isn't it? 30 grand.
Yeah, that's from Australia. So, I've got that baby in my bank right now. So in Thailand, I could buy it right now because it presents a problem with my with my what do you call it, visa renewal. Conversion.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it and then get kicked out. Yeah, Jesus. Sorry, mister, your visa no good.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah, but I just bought $1 million condo. Yeah, but sorry, you have to give that away.
I went 109000 enter. Yeah, it's $50,000 Australian, 50,470 Australian, or about
Very
30,000 US dollars.
very clean looking, isn't it? Very sort of.
You'll find the ones closer to the city, yes, and these ones here are very, very, very easy access to. We'll have a look at that in a second. So there's your
Nice balcony, bedroom master.
So that's,
Yeah, there is a balcony, but I think it's small.
That's your bedroom.
That's your bed there, yeah.
Right.
Built robes, mirror, and then a balcony off the master.
Yeah, so
You get a
it
table
doesn't
over
actually
there.
have a kitchen area per se. You got a
It's all
bathroom,
very.
bathroom area.
Probably
you
has a corner where you can set up a little, kettle and a toaster.
Well,
and,
that's that little. I don't know what that looks like. It's a glass
that's all you need.
thing. So that's probably the entry, and there's probably a little area there that you could make up.
They usually have an area where you can just plug in a kettle and microwave.
Well, that you'd put a bench there or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you don't really. I mean, if you really wanted to, you do your own cooking, but it's not really necessary.
Let's have a look. Where is it? Okay.
Prakanong.
It's actually over the river.
Oh,
I didn't. God, trying to find the ones. I'm trying to find something near Bangwa.
If you get away from Bangkok Central, there's some really good little
Okay.
provinces. You know,
Here's Bangwa. Contact for price. Contact for price. Okay, starting at Metro Sathon. I got a friend of ours that was living over there. The Metro Sathon's actually quite a nice little community. It has townhouses as well. Actually, the guy that ran our office over here, he bought a townhouse in the same area. So they have condos and townhouses in this whole little Muban complex. So again, it's a nice little area. So this is 21 photos. Some of the photos look quite nice. It looks like this one here is probably
very modern, isn't it?
Pre-loved.
Well, not sure about the orange counter there, but anyway.
Yeah. So you got your little countertop there.
Yeah, it's very simple, but it's functional.
It's coming with, looks like it comes with all the furniture, I would sort of say.
They splashed that little bit of orange. Yeah, all those tiles. Look at those. Yeah. Oh dear, what have they done there? It looks like it's been lived in before, but it's nice. It's not top of the Wazza, but it's all right.
But location-wise, let's just zoom out a bit. So you got the MRT here. So it's a motorcycle taxi ride to the MRT. The present, which was where Tim was saying, is just there on that cross junction.
It's a market on the right there.
Right. This one here, the actual condos opens up on this road here. If you were driving, so you go onto this road, which is currently having a lot of roadworks done, and they're actually widening the road. Big interchange sort of through here as well. The MRT.
Check that Talat out, Warren. I think that means market. It might be the wrong spelling. Just to the right. It says Talat P. Scroll to the right. There, Talat Plu.
Talat Plu.
I think that means market. They might have spelt the orthography might be different. Just see, is it a market?
No, that's actually it's a suburb, right? But it probably was originally a market area. If you go to Wiki and sort of NONG non-chem.
Boy, it's good to have a market nearby.
There was actually a listing for non-chem in the Wikipedia. So non-chem, which is where it is in Bangkok Central, it actually means, it actually gave us a history. The name comes from the name of the district comes from Nong, which means wetland, and Chem, which means reed. Wetland reeds is the name for non-chem, and again, as what we're trying to get there, what you're trying to say, that location is Talat Blue, which was probably in, when they were naming things, it was a market area. So there it is there. We zoom in. It's actually, it's now an area. It's, it's a province, but it probably was, looking at, there's a serviceable klong there. That klong there is also a waterway klong, so it probably was a water market at some stage, or a dalat, a dalat or talat, which means market. So very sad. Dalat plu, water market plu. I don't know what plu means. What's plu?
Don't know. Place. Maybe place.
Let's go to my
marketplace is a guess. Probably place.
Let's go to my Thai language. Open a new tab. We're really getting off the subject here, aren't we?
That happens.
This works much better than so what I say, Quang Dalat Blue. It's not actually going to give me a bit of a breakdown, so let's just try that. See if we can get the word plu.
That blue.
Okay, just what I'm trying to do there is,
Pictures or anything to go by at some kind of market.
no, that's right. I'm just trying to get what the blue part is. That won't help me. I need to separate it. Blue. Okay, it means green betel.
There's different context. Beetle. I think green beetle is the thing they eat, don't they? And spit it out. Got the red shit.
Yeah, good. So blue means betel.
Beetle leaf. Is that one where they, the one they chew and they got the lime in it? And they spit out the red shit.
Could be a market that sold that particular type of thing back in the old days. Anyway, getting back to so 1 bedroom condo, Metro Park, usable square metres, so it's a bit bigger than Tim's one. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 beauty room.
Tim's was quite small from memory. The
Only
apartment.
28 square metres, I think it was. It was very small, but yeah.
I should elaborate and say apartment.
Air conditions, free air conditioned water heater, refrigerator, microwave, stove, a Howard wardrobe, built-in bed, wardrobe and bed, built-in furniture, sink, sofa. So it's pre-loved. It's it's ready to move in. It's
Chris Brand said it means mountain.
Does it?
Means mountain something.
Okay.
Blue means mountain.
We don't have our resident Thai to help us. Where is she?
Pattaya.
She's slacked off.
She.
Yeah. So and that's Metro Park, 1.2 million. God, we've already gone 2 hours into this already. Oh, we've got 33 people watching. We'll keep on going. You want us to keep going? We can keep on going, guys, if you want. I'm trying to find one for the president, but I don't think the president lists.
So once you get away from Bangkok Central and you keep going out and out and out, different zones, outer zones of Bangkok or suburbs, you can get some really cheap rentals and cheap places to buy, and the whole thing changes. Once you start getting 45 minutes out, say from central Bangkok. What about a place like?
We want to do a comparison to central. We want to do some comparisons to central Bangkok, do we?
Why not try where I used to live, which is Nakayok or Onkarak? That's 45 minutes from Rangsit. Onkarak or.
Weren't you up here?
It's a tiny little town, Ampur Onkarak, which is a very small town, Ampur Lek.
I'm going to say where you used to work. Let's go and pick this area here. Now towards Nakayok way, but it's a little town called Onkarak. No, so let's say Pra Nakhon. Let's just see if we can drill in central Bangkok. Probably.
Trouble is, all the Thai orthography is different. I mean, starting to get some consistency into it, but it's hard to sometimes.
Let's go central business. What's the?
Oh, you mean on Nut?
No, Ratanantui, Bangrak.
It's really still central, to be honest. Yeah.
What's the one between Ratan and Dang Dang? Trying to get the area for this one here.
Dang.
What's the one that covers the central here? Lumpini, is that it? Okay,
where I used to live? No.
Let's try Lumpini.
That's not far from Scott Mullen, I think. Because he tends to do a lot of walks around there. Or might be wrong on that.
Right, so this is central. This is right smack bang in the centre of Bangkok right now.
Yeah,
pretty walking distance to Nana Plaza, and a BTS distance. You got Chitlom there.
Down under bar
and everything else. So Lumpini, what have we got? So we're looking at condos. Let's lowest price first. Okay. lowest price first. They're probably obviously paid to put that ad there. Okay, so how cheap can you buy into Lumpini? What do you get for 2.3 million? 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 30.4 square metres. A new listing. What's it look like? Not very many photos, so it's pre-loved.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's a bit gaudy, yes. It's a bit gaudy.
Oh God, black and green.
Yeah. So there's the bed. So this is they're calling it an apartment, but it's a what like a studio. It's a bed, living room, everything all in one. And
90s. I think it's a 90s job. This one.
Yeah. But it's central Bangkok, right? 2.3 million, right smack bang in the middle of everything. 1 bed, 1 bath.
Good colour schemes there. They're really.
Let's see if we can find something. So this is more of not a big condo. So it's an apartment. This is more of an apartment block building. I'm guessing these
they're
are
better actually. It looks rather small.
Where's the location? It's right
There's
on the
not
corner
many.
there of Lumpini Park, right on the corner there. See, right on the MRT. 1 bed, 1 bath. They're very, very happy to show you the outside because the inside, it's going to see inside. There you go.
Dear. Well, it's all right.
Small, yeah. So that's about all you're going to see of the building. 2.3 million.
That's another consideration too. Being in a small block, not a big block. Just a small. Has only limited. What's this? How many condos does it have? 20.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say. But you get more intimate service by the owner or whatever if you're in a small apartment block.
At those sort of prices, we're not going to see anything. So something that looks fairly low, 22.35 square metres.
They all look a bit run down, don't they?
Okay, here's 3 million at 69 square metres, so it's something a bit bigger. Let's have a
It's
look
all
at
about
this.
the maintenance in Bangkok, whether they maintain them. They start off really nice when they're new, but Jesus, they go down quickly.
So let's have a look at where this one is first. So a little bit off the beaten path. Let's just zoom out. Oh, okay. So it's on Ratchadamri. Right, so I do know that there's a couple of big hotels there. That's the big park or golf course park thing.
You don't want to say that when you're pissed trying to get home. Yeah, right today. Tell me how to ride it.
What's it look like inside? So again, it's a much better accoutrement.
More modern.
More modern. I like the wood panelling around the doors.
Floorboards.
That's probably the second bedroom. Kitchen, dining area.
Yellow. Ooh, don't know about yellow in the kitchen, but there you go.
You've got a separate lounge room entertainment area with the nice wooden area for the thing and the sunken back
Pink
TV.
and brown curtains. Pink and brown curtains.
Okay. Well,
I suppose.
it's for 3 million, 32,000 baht a month to rent.
Yeah.
3 million to buy. Right, it's leasehold till 2027. So in 7 years' time, you're going to have to renegotiate a new lease if you bought it. Could present a problem, but then again, you could sell as well.
Yeah. That could be dodgy, couldn't it? Renegotiating.
Yeah.
How much? Though inflation tends not to be high in Thailand generally, does it? I mean, it tends not to.
So let's put half. If we were to buy this one here, just for let's put a half million down, 5 million. And let's do a 25-year. Right.
What's the maximum term you can have?
30. Well, they're doing 30, and that's what they're doing. But
minimum deposit depends on the price, I suppose.
Let's look at 25. Right. So that's 15,000 baht a month as a repayment. Smack bang in the centre of Bangkok. Yeah, look. Although I don't like that style of living, but it gives you everything is at the fingertip, and unfortunately,
Sometimes you save on other areas. If you're right in the middle, you save on transport because you really don't.
Chanya has to commute to her shop. But all in all,
you'd furnish it up your own style if you owned the place. You could repaint it.
Well, I like the wood grain. I like the wood panelling. Probably just
the wood panelling. I just probably change the pink and the brown curtains. I'll get used to it, one or the other. I might get used to it. Yellow kitchen. Don't know about that.
It's an option.
Splash of paint. It's pretty cheap though for right in the middle, right in the guts.
Of course, the downside is I don't have anywhere for mother. Right, so let's
don't have any under the stairs.
Or a guest coming in. Let's see if I think we got a 2+. Let's see if we can narrow the search down. Okay, so to get 2-bedroom, okay, this it's in Southon, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 51 square metre, a little bit smaller.
Jacks the price up quite a bit, 2-bedroom.
It does. It's the cheapest one we can find in this area. Let's have a look at the...
Well, I'm just fixated now with these colour schemes, what they're going to do next.
Well,
What's this one, green and pink?
They're sort of saying it's right on Lumpini again. So it's right on the MRT there.
Green and pink is very popular in Thailand. You see a lot of Thais use it.
I'm glad I'm colourblind when it comes to green.
Yeah, it's got green and pink.
That's a very washed out.
I
can see the tinge of green in it, but it's a washed out colour to me. It doesn't stand
Actually,
out.
that's not too bad. It works. I don't know about the pink, but the green is okay. They picked it up in the curtains a bit, so I can see where they're going slightly. But
looking at one direction.
Trying to be kind here, but it's colourful.
Nice
it's colourful anyway.
So it's got an entertainment. It's got a dining area. Got a little kitchen area.
It's all right.
We're not going to see the bedrooms. Are we going to? Okay, so
colourful sheets in the bedrooms.
Just looking at there. That's the bedroom area. But again, where would I put my computer? So that's 2 views. Okay, they're not going to show us the second bedroom. So that's not quite sure. Let's look at a little study. Is it? I can't really work out what that is there. Maybe it is 1 bedroom with a study. Kitchen with the fire with living dining area, separate kitchen, fully furnished, close to.
We're talking right in the guts of Bangkok here.
Yeah,
I mean, if you get just you even get just out to a Nutway,
Nice facility with big swimming pool and gym room. Okay, all expense fees and taxes related to ownership, registration, land department shall be equal.
Common laundry room.
Common laundry, exercise, key card access, blah blah blah. They're not really giving us much more. Okay, air conditioned, CCT, ready to move in. Just got to worry about painting. Nah, doesn't really take my fancy.
No, not really.
Yeah, just Sid C there. G'day Sid C, how you doing? Who else? Anybody else who dropped in?
Because I'm watching the.
You're watching the thing, yeah.
The
you don't have 2 screens like me, do you? See?
I do know how to split it, but
just makes it
doesn't
difficult.
always work using a shortcut. Joe Ford's in the house. Hello, Joe. Long time no see.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. I love a mother-in-law, and her daughter couldn't stand. I love my mother-in-law.
Good group of.
It's her daughter. My daughter I couldn't stand. Yeah.
No real trolls or precious nasty.
No, we got a pretty good. We could get a pretty good run here.
Nice group you've got here now. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Mr. Mitch is always good and stuck in Florida.
Here's one here. This one caught my eye here. Well, there's 65.
I don't even have to worry about trolls, really.
Well, let's look at this. This is 100 square metre. That's a decent sort of size floor for 4.5 million. So that's a real decent area. Wish they'd give you the layout of these sort of things. 2 bed, 2 bath. Okay.
Oh yeah, right near the Erawan Shrine. That's pretty high up on the Monopoly board there.
So the last one was there. This one here is just here. So you've got Siam
Chitlom's a
Station
good area.
here, you've got Chitlom, and you've got Nana, so Sukhumvit Soi 4 there, so it's walking distance.
Yeah, so you're in the guts of it.
Staggering distance.
Yeah. That's still got much Madari there.
Let's have a look at the photos. Thai property. Decent sort of, place for living, dining, kitchen, all in one area.
Bit of Japanese style there, sort of interwoven, isn't it?
Yeah. I would assume that those doors slide out to fully close.
Yeah, they would. Nice concept to make use of the space. You can still have privacy in an open plan.
And
the brown curtains again.
This is the second bedroom.
The brown curtains, they must be into those. They keep popping up. The colouring scheme here is a lot better. It's not as... perhaps the floorboards are a bit dark. Anyway, that's all. Make them lighter. If you want to make the place look bigger, you make them lighter. Not that I'm an expert. But they're nice.
And
That's nice
Dowlow. My ex-mother-in-law knew her place, but she wouldn't stay in the toilet all day. Oh dear. Decent sized kitchen. But again, so no computer room.
Careful, Dowlow. People will take you bloody directly. They'll think you actually mean it.
What else we got? Okay, let's go the whole. Let's go to 3-bedroom because I need my computer room. We always said I'd look after mother. So three bed, 3 bath.
They probably have a mother room somewhere. A mother room,
This
like
is right on Nana as well. This looks like an older building from that picture. We've got some 8 photos. Have a look at this one here. Remax Condo D.
Actually, it's Johnny Siam. Oh, look at that. Johnny Siam.
Johnny Siam, good day. He did. He pinged everybody.
Well, he CC'd everybody.
CC'd, it just pings them all so that their names stand out.
It's not as bad as you think, Andy Stubbs, Central Bangkok. A lot of people think it's crazy and busy, but it's actually not as bad as you would think. You'd be surprised. It's very convenient. Like, you've got everything at fingertips. And for that reason, there's method in the madness. It works. For some reason, it works. The transport system's very good.
Now, what I don't like about this one here is right on that clong. And that clong can really get...
earlier.
That clong can really be rancid. You don't really smell it from Sukhumvit Soi 4, but it really...
Yeah, no, they are. Some of them are very smelly.
So there's Nana.
The Peony Park, that's got heaps of monitor lizards in there as well.
Is it a clong? Oh, no, okay, no, that's... no, there's no clong now. I was thinking... I thought it was a clong, but it's not a clong. Where's the... No, that's the road, and the railway goes through there, so you get the clackety-clank of the railway cars going through. And it's a major thoroughfare. Right,
Nana King's in the house. If this cat claws my leg once
more,
so
to get the Nana, you've actually to get the Nana. It's not just a simple walk across here. To get the Nana from here, you got to walk up to there and then down and then back down that way.
Little bridges, yeah.
It's not an easy place to get to. So it's got that major expressway. So out one door. Not an easy, and of course road. There probably is a way under because the expressway is elevated, but there's probably a few walkways going across. But
what I love about Bangkok is there's literally so many places you can go and dine and drink at, and just so much to do,
But it's 3-bedroom. Let's have a look at the photos again. It's a 3-bedroom. It's old style. It's got overhang balconies.
Plonchit's a rich area. That's an expensive area, Plonchit.
It's got a little gym. It's got a
very
pool.
Close to the BTS.
Pool looks reasonably well kept, but then again, you don't know from the photos, do you? That's the actual map of the place, and we're not going to see inside. That's really, not you're doing yourself any service for showing us the inside layout.
No, it's a bit of a... Only 19 condominiums in there in the building, I think they said. Just 19. It's a very small number.
16
very
floors.
Exclusive.
Is a single building having 129 units, 16 floors.
Oh,
so
sorry, 129 units. Okay, that's quite big, yeah.
So it's eight per floor. Is that right?
129. Let's see what it's... look at all those places it's near to. So it's near to almost everything.
It's basically smack bang in the centre. The only thing I was going for was the three bedroom option there. Next one up.
Greedy now. Three bedrooms. Jesus, you're getting greedy.
So the next one up. This one's at was it 7.1 million, 135,000 a month rent, 4 bedroom. Definitely outside, 270 usable square metres, and lack of photos again. Talk about lack of photos. Nice wood paneling.
This is quite, this is quite nice, isn't it?
They could take more photos, honestly. Maybe,
is it too much wood? These are all little considerations anyway, I suppose. If you're going to live there, you want to have it just as you like it. These ceilings now are quite common where they're making them ducted ceilings, like they've got a ceiling in a ceiling. I don't know what you call it, but they're quite popular now.
Yeah. But again, location.
Location's important.
Let's try another area just a bit outside that. Let's close that one. So we looked at west. Let's look over where Dowlow lives, or his place.
In the sticks. Dowlow's in the sticks, is he?
In the sticks. Let me just go and find a map first, so I can find a location.
With all the contributions he makes for the what do you call it, super chats, he probably lives in a bloody palace.
There's Bang Plu, Tambon Village. We're going to get a.
No, this is getting out of suburb. Okay, out of Bangkok.
He lives around it. I'm not going to drill on it. I'm just trying to find a suburb location.
I can't remember a lot of the names I used to live in when I was there. It's too long ago.
So Bang.
Too long ago, mister.
Samat Pakran.
His favourite Chinese restaurant is the Golden Retriever. Dallow's good today. He's on fire with the jokes.
Okay.
Don't upset the animal like Dallo. They'll get all upset with you. See his comment, Warren? My favourite Chinese restaurant is the Golden Retriever.
Okay.
Dallo, you eat. Oh, gee.
So again, sort of out this way, west of the city, again, you've got the new the new BTS line out this way. Started looking at condos first. That's a 4-bedroom condo. 4 beds, 30. How did they fucking fit that in there? That's obviously something's not right.
Back to that pink again.
How do you get this? How do you get 4? So you got a bed in the lounge room, right? Yeah.
Everything's in that lounge room. Jesus, dining table, everything.
I think that's a 4-bedroom condo. Yeah.
Four bedroom. If the more bedrooms, I guess, the less living space.
I think that's a screwed up listing. They're only single beds. Condos. They're calling these condos. Bad listings again. That's all we got. So let's just take it off. Condo. Let's not use anything. We'll just continue the search. Okay, to buy. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, let's have a look at it. 1-bedroom condo for sale. So I took it off condos, now we're showing 1-bedroom condos. 1-bedroom apartments. Where are we?
Can't be right. What's the sale? 135,000. That can't be right. 1 million.
Summit Park Road near BTS
right.
bearing. So it's near the BTS bearing. Bearing BTS, which is which one was bearing? I don't know. I don't know all my locations here. I know that one. That's Chanya. That's BTS Sukhumvit. Oh, that's bearing up here. Okay, so it's near BTS bearing, they said. So it's actually not too far out of the city. Alright, so that's a 1 bed, 1 bath, floor 7, building B2, 26.12 square metres. Yeah, sell price 1.135 million. What the fuck? What's the... Okay, so they've forgot a fucking zero. They thought there was something fucking...
Chris Brown says, Warren, I have a feeling you aren't moving anywhere.
We'll get there, don't worry, Chris.
He's getting frustrated with you.
So... it's 1.35 million. They forgot a decimal point on that one.
All those noises.
Don't know.
Bells and whistles going off everywhere.
1-bedroom condo. Again, these are these apartment studio apartment buildings. That's what you get. It's just a door. You know, you got a window at one side. Yeah, nothing much flash. 1-bedroom condo. Teparak. In Teparak.
Oh, those colour schemes. Jesus Christ, what's that light blue? There's those ceilings I don't like.
It's down here somewhere. Could be freaking miles away. They're not giving us a pin. Condos consisting of now whether it's 170,000 baht or 1.7 million, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say 100. I think they got the numbers mixed up there. It probably more like 1 point. It would never be 170,000. That's nothing. It's $7,000 or something. It would be that.
Yeah.
But they've buggered up all those numbers. I think. Sure, couldn't be to
down
buy the
payment
place.
condo sale.
Down payment.
Well, that one's obviously just to move in straight away.
Yeah, it's not the price of the condo though, is it? They're just down payments yet.
Well, there's one there. What's that one there?
Definitely wouldn't be the price. Otherwise, you'd be snapping them up left, right, and centre.
Well, it depends on where they are. You know, like it's location, right?
Yeah, but like 100,000 baht, 135,000, you're not going to get it for that.
But
I think they've buggered up
this
the
one. This
figures.
one's 390,000. You know, that's
390,000 maybe, getting closer to.
It's definitely not. It's not a decimal point out, right? It's not a down payment. It's an old style building. It's looking pretty run down area.
Yeah, that one seems more likely. But the other one for 135,000 baht, I don't think you'd get a building for that, could you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, these are run down, Warren.
Yeah, I do know these little sort of. These are the 30-year-old.
You could do them
condo.
up. You could go and put your own furniture and paint job in there. The air conditioner looks new. I mean, depends how optimistic you are.
But yeah, so it's a one bedroom, and so let's just do a conversion there, just to. So 390,000. So it's for $18,000. $18,000. You could.
There's probably people that do this, and we just all go naturally. We gravitate toward the modern, new, flash places. You know, but if the location is good, as you say, you could do it up in your own time.
Got a
you know,
location.
you could still.
To get into a location,
You could still put in your TV and your hot water and your
miles from the BTS, but it's this is the sort of thing. It's
what do you want for 18,000? Oh, I'm going to buy that, you bastards! It's too far.
No, so it was out in this area here. Let's have a look at a street view. Let's have a look at a satellite view. There's a few little new estates out here, but this is a condo unit. We got KFC Lifestyle. Looks like you got a shopping centre. You know, you got all
the signs of civility.
Everything you need. Everything you need to.
It's got 7-Eleven. It's got a 7-Eleven.
A nice clong. Excuse me, running right through the centre there.
You pig.
So, at least I did it first, not you.
Jesus Christ, it's all the time you ever go at me. Look at that one. Jesus Christ.
The clong doesn't look all that healthy. It looks like it's overgrown it's been filled in. It's not really it's not a flowing clong. Looks like
they're trying to get some green trees in there now.
Mosquito breeding ground, this one here.
Actually, some more green trees would take care of that humidity.
But yeah, so it's again, it's if you had your 800,000 baht in a Thai bank account. This is getting back to what we're looking at here. Somebody wants to come to live in Thailand, in Bangkok. What do you?
The only worry I'd have about that, Warren, is if the whole block was going to fall down.
Yeah, well, that's very possible.
You've gone from $2 million, 2 million baht. What are we doing?
Well, if you're going to look at something, you got to look at everything, and in a big. We could go on for hours doing this, thing.
It's quite interesting actually to see what is available.
Yeah.
Would that be available to a foreigner? Would you have to know a Thai person to get those prices?
Well, I know it's a condo. It's on a Thai property. Right. It's on a Thai property website.
Find a cheaper one. Look at the one for 135,000. See what it actually is. So obviously, that's the price of the condo. What are you talking? $8,000. Mm-hmm. It's yours.
Well, there's another one bedroom.
Surely not. Okay, let's look at a real cheap one.
Well, that's the real cheap ones. I don't think are real, unless of course that's a real one. It's just a fucking bed sitter.
Look at the one for 480.
This one,
480. Have a look at
that's where this is the next one up. That's where the next one I was going to.
Actually, the one for 135 had good rooms. It wasn't shit rooms.
Yeah, but it's 1.35, and it's the same. It's this one up here in the top. They got a little circle there, so it's saying that's where it is.
This one looks alright. This looks like a nut where I used to live, but it's not. That would have been built in the 90s, I'd say.
Yeah, not getting much in the way. So it's one bedroom. This is
a
floor layout.
That's alright. It's alright.
Yeah, so you get your bedroom, you get your living area, and
they give you a floor layout. Lovely.
That's a balcony.
Got a little planter out there. Planter balcony.
Or is that the bedroom? And that's I don't know which way's the way in. Oh, that's the door in. So that's you enter into here. One bedroom. Oh,
big living space. Big living space.
Well, that's the saying. It's
some pictures, please. Any pictures?
That's all we got.
5 photos. Got 5 photos there.
It's coming in. You've got outside photos. That's it. We're not getting inside photos. We're just getting a floor layout.
Okay. Well, look, it's not fancy, but
2.6 metre between that wall, so that's, or 3 metre, you might just say. 3 metre by 3
You can do
metre.
these things up.
2.7.
Apply your
the
own
bedroom's
personality
base.
to them.
So it's 3 metre. What's that's a 9? So 10 foot by 9 foot bedroom. Smallish, but for a single person, you could stick.
Andy Stubbs said you'll need sinking insurance in Bangkok.
Right. I could put my computer desk there.
You have an underground swimming pool.
I don't know what that is. Does that say bathroom? That's the bathroom, I'm guessing. And that's the balcony.
Be a planter.
I'm guessing that's the bath, shower, recess. So it's better than a one-bedroom townhouse. When I could move in tomorrow. If
On the 5 photos.
If she kicked me out, I could move there tomorrow. The 5 photos. We've already looked at 5 photos, right?
So that's the view. Is it near a park? Then okay, you've got a pool.
Yeah.
And they've got a house plan. There's not really. Okay.
Not much.
Not doing themselves any favours with the room shots, but anyway.
Not much to look at. Yeah.
But from the outside, it looks all right. But these are very Thai style ones, obviously. I mean, they're not catering to Falungs. You're probably not expecting any Falung to apply for these.
Right. It's right over the airport, so it's right in the flight path of the Svanapum. So it's a bit of a noisy one.
It's the vibe. So if you don't like it, you want to sell it. It's the vibe. It's a home. It's a castle. If they want to kick you out of there and build an airport through there, you just say, well, look, it's my home. It's the vibe and all that sort of thing.
So there's lots of options there at the under the $1 million baht.
As I said before, I don't think a lot of these options they would expect Falungs to even know about or apply for, or whether you can do. So whether you need to.
They're on a website that a Falung can get access to. So
remember, they think we're all rich. They think we're all rich,
and
loaded, and that we couldn't live in anything less than a palace.
2.5 hours into the stream. Well, we've still got 31 people watching. We haven't been paying much attention to what they've been talking about.
Yeah, a little bit.
Warren's going to put his new condo on the green screen and let us believe he moved in there. Yeah, there you go.
Whack a polly waffle. Johnny Siam. Oh, that's disgusting. Whack a polly waffle in the pool. Pool, you reckon? Throw a polly waffle in the
Terrible.
pool. Lick of paint and some spit and polish from Dowlow. Yeah.
Lick of
spit and polish, yeah. Spit and polish, that's the old army days.
Spit and polish, that's actually shining shoes. And did you know you don't actually, it's not spit and polish, there is actually sort of shoe polish involved in that spitting process. People don't realise spit polishing did actually involve using the actual, stuff, but it actually makes it go shiny. Makes it go hard and shiny.
I've spat and polished more boots than I care to know about.
I we had to do it for when I was in the reserves as well. For parade.
3 years of that shit.
Fucking for all
That's
parades.
Enough for me.
Had to sit there and you had the spit polished fucking shoes. Right. It's a real fucking art form. Oh, there's a trick to it.
Remember when I had a punch up with the sergeant?
You get your lighter, and you can heat the polish up in the can, and you apply it like that way, and it goes on so much easier. If you actually liquefy the polish, you can actually sort of paint it on, and then you get the spit, and then you can shine it with the spit, and it really brings them up really, really fucking lustrous.
Or you can get a can of spray paint like I did and spray them, and then they start cracking.
So we just had to just do it that way. We just put the polish on the rag, and we just used to heat it up and apply it, and it'd make it go all shiny and everything else like that. It was fun.
Don't drink the metho, Johnny Sam. Just don't drink the metho.
Metho in the polish and light it up. That's right, Johnny. That was a few people tried that.
That's old school, that one.
Old school, that's it. But anyway, what have I missed on the chat? Everybody's been chatting away and not listening to me. I listened.
No, just a lot of jokes. A lot of jokes today. They're all taken over where I left off, I think.
Anything else that I missed there? Dallas,
good crew here. Good crew.
He's left he gave everybody his address. That's it. All the trolls are fucking going. Sit outside your place now. I know what that is. I know what that ding is. It's yeah,
Ding dong.
it's my Telegram. I should turn that off. But anyway, what else we got?
I think you might have to close it soon. You're getting a bit long in the tooth here. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, we've been all
still
day.
got 35 people watching still, and that's the thing, you know.
It's still other weeks in the year, you know. You don't have to do this topic.
Okay, so before we close out, what are we going to talk about next week? We had a bit of a
Same
topic
thing,
process.
I reckon. Same thing, I reckon. Do a double whammy on it.
Okay, give people time to respond to that. Do you want to talk more property prices? You know, we'll see if we can find something in the room. I did have some, what they call it, some. No, you don't want to see that shit. I did have.
Maybe do transport and ride around the bus, do a live stream, like actually out there in the.
Yeah, it's just this just doesn't work well because as soon as you bounce outside one Wi-Fi, then you can get a
take a tuk-tuk, and then take
it's
a
too
taxi,
hard,
take a bus.
Unless of course you're stationary. Wi-Fi doing live streams. Unless of course you stay in the single cell tower. It's really impossible to do long stream runs because you just lose it. The stream just completely collapses.
It breaks out. Yeah. You can't always get Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we could probably I did have the page there for Char Arm Realty. We could probably have a look at some of the other places like Pattaya and Hua Hin. So we've looked at Bangkok, East, West, and Central. We can continue on with this particular subject. Thailand Property can give me a call, and give them we can talk some sort of deal. Promoting their website and promoting their good work on getting the sales out there. Who knows?
The point is the cost of living is very cheap depending on what you want and can afford. That's all.
Yeah, Bangkok 46 for reckon he wants to continue the same topic. Why is there so many monk these days? That's an interesting topic. There's a lot of monks, or they're a lot more visible right now. But I think that's partly because people, have lost jobs, and when you take when you put on the habit, or what do they call it? Put on the road, you pretty much
fed for free anyway.
You get fed for free, and and it makes a difference if you can't do what you're doing.
What about places off the beaten path, says Andy Stubbs? Yes, around Bangkok. I'd like to see that too. There's a few suburbs that, as I said, 45 minutes to an hour away, or an hour and a half outside of central Bangkok, that I don't know what they would cost, but I lived out there for a year or two, and they're really different. It's a completely different vibe you get living in those areas than you do living in central Bangkok. Completely different.
Well,
but you're only a long ride away.
I'm also may see if we can get Rob in the chat at least, or even on the voice, and so let's sort of focus on maybe Charm Hua Hin next video, and we'll try to get Rob teed up for it as well, so he can give his 2 cents worth, maybe sort of show you a few of his videos that he's put up on his Facebook. I just want to make sure I get permission from him first.
You go 45 minutes from Bangkok, you'll find a completely different style of living.
Billy sort of says, what about rentals? It's another sort of, there's so much we could do and talk about it. We have you guys chatting amongst yourselves and telling jokes while we just look at different things. Because, what bottom line is, July 1, people started coming back in. Tourists won't be in for a while, but, now's the time to start thinking about whether you're coming back and are you going to be retiring and where you're going to stay, getting a roof over your head, what are you going to do? Let's leave this as an open topic for next week, and we'll continue on from there. It seems to be it's almost as popular as the last one. Let me just go to some stats. So where is my stats page? Go to live stream. Go live. Bring up the one that's playing now. I always like to look at stats before I close the stream out. Now they worked out how to do that shit. And Stephen Monash he wanted to get up there and get the tingle, did he?
No, I don't get
There
a
it is.
tingle.
There it is.
Still
There
get
it
a
is.
tingle.
You get the
I
tingle.
still get one, do I?
And this little thing comes across here on the jar, and just over, drops the money in the jar.
You could buy with all the bloody chats I've given you. You could buy a condo.
That's right. So well, we didn't have as big a turnout as last week.
Yeah, I can't get out of Perth, Andy Stubbs, and I don't think anybody can get out of Australia at the moment.
We peaked at 40. We peaked at 43 this time. But we've had a good above 30 average viewing, average watch time 15 minutes.
Very good, wasn't it? Very good. No negativity, no sensitivity. It was all nice.
Yeah.
And you got Joe Ford saying there, I'll set my alarm clock for next week.
Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. Let me just get small again. Now this is obviously the stats on the stream. So this is what we get, the chat rate. So you've been fairly chat. That's 3 chats per minute average.
It started going up when I came on.
The average concurrent viewer, that concurrent viewers now is 30.
You see that, Warren? It started going up when I came on. Did you notice that?
It's when people start getting it. There's a chat rate.
He can't bring himself to say it. He's
He's
almost stuttering there. He's going.
No, I'm trying to. You change the subject. That's what you're doing. You change the subject. View activity. There we go. Stream health. This is the data we get from the thing. Stream status excellence. Messages, suggestions. Stream current bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you use a stream bit. No, but we want good quality. Thank you very much.
You get a really cheap place to live, and then you just go to 7-Eleven every day, spend there, and you can last as decades. You can live to your 100.
Anyway, let's have a look at some more of that stuff next week. So let me go and just say the big Halo, good guy, big screen sign off. Who else have I missed out on? So if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. I think we are going to bring this onto the YouTube channel, onto the Facebook channel next week, dual streaming. Since I think I've got all the bugs all ironed out with the freaking Streamlabs shit.
You might get more people on because sometimes it's not easy to get on to.
Well, I said, the thing about it is, like it's on my gaming page. I do want to get my gaming page up, get some more subscribers there, and continue to get some more content out. Like when we finish here, I'm going to go and have some breakfast, or lunch, and then I'm going to go streaming again. But I'm going to be streaming on Twitch this time because we're going to be gaming. But that's what we do. That's what I like doing, and I'm going to be sort of ramping up the gaming and all that sort of stuff throughout the next week. We've been tied up, so the week before last, we're tied up with the funeral, and last week there's some other things cooking that you'll all be apprised of that in due course. Things are just ramping up in certain areas. Things are just, don't want to spruik anything. I don't know what I can say at this stage. But if you get an invite for liking a page on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that follow button. There's some things we're doing in that area as well. And stay tuned. Chris
Brown, a lot of people, they want to discuss the new TVs and all the news on TV, but there's a few people out there doing that. It gets a bit boring. You can always find out what Bangkok news is about or Thailand news. So many channels, don't you agree, Warren?
Yeah, I want to stay. I want to stay off the news channels. I'm trying to leave it specifically more focused on unique content, right? And this is something that what we've been doing here in the last few months has been, well, as soon as you talk about the virus, then they'll demonetize the video. So we want to try to distance ourselves from that bullshit. We want to try and minimise our swearing, because again they demonetise your video if you swear in it too much. What else is there? I want to do something. It's more about focusing on those people who want to come and live here, and the ins and outs of living in Thailand. and what you do as living in Thailand. Which let's spatter it once in a while with a gaming video. If I've got something interesting that we're gaming at the time, like right now we're into a hack and slash game, which is it's okay for the people who play games.
Sorry, I must have misread it. Sorry, stuck in Florida. So he's saying let's discuss new TVs. Sorry,
new TVs.
Chris Brand, I misread. I thought you meant wanted to watch news items. No, he's talking about new TVs. I misread it. My apologies.
Well, it's not
so I guess he's meaning the price and the brands. It's a bit of a narrow topic, but you could.
Well, it's again, it's a sort of
it's
a sort of thing we could do it as a on the spot live stream, but department stores where you get this stuff, they
Cue
don't.
The music, Mr. Mitch.
They don't like you videoing in their store.
I understand, Chris Brand. Yes, you want to buy a new TV.
Right. So. Okay. How can we do that? Maybe we can do it sort of a separate, spontaneous one.
You'd have to do what's that market? They sell all the second-hand stuff as well, TVs, mobile phones. Just look at a range of products, maybe.
Yeah.
Pick three and look at them. So look at computers, mobile phones, and
they're just
TVs.
They're hard to do on the spot because you got crowds and noise and bings and bops and fucking TV programs and everything else. Which can get picked up by the AI as being you're rebroadcasting, Avengers or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be somebody out there, but
or the music or something. That's always a very difficult one to do. We could do online shopping and go through some online shopping. So I can put that.
That'd be a good one, actually. Online shopping could be the go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I do that. So let me just go and put that on the topics thing. Online shopping with a
online
focus.
Shopping. What about online food? Things that you get. Remember, Mark Weens ordered a lot of food. If you want to order food, it's come to your house. How easy is that? What do you do? I don't know.
Okay, I put it down there so I don't forget it. Something we could do, but we'll continue on for this one here, for a couple of runs until we get bored with it. Then we'll move on to something like online shopping. Again, so keep on spicing up something to a discussion topic that we can, get behind. Ideally, it'd be great if you can get more on the voice, so we can, so what we're doing now and these sort of things, I can stream directly into the Discord, so you see what I've got on screen. You don't see me, you just see what I've got on screen. But on there again, you don't see the chat on screen either. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I could fix that up so we can sort of see the live chat while we're doing that. It's just a bit more tricky.
Morning, Sean.
Sean Mark.
New guy.
There we go, an American there. Happy 4th of July. Is that what you say? Happy 4th of July?
Chris Brand says every time he reckons do something about Scotch whiskey, and every time someone donates $1, you have to drink a shot.
God, can you imagine what I'd be like?
He'd rather see you pissed than sober.
It's not so much the drinking the whiskey; it's the day after. Right, I am.
Yeah, then he'll get done for promoting alcohol, Chris. So it doesn't matter what you do; everybody finds an alcohol.
Seriously, you start doing that shit, and you go mad.
Everyone's promoting alcohol, they will say, if you start.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. The trolls will be out there in force. Anyway, thanks for joining. We're almost up to 3 hours. They're trying to sign off as much as trying to sign, as bad as trying to sign on.
Play the cue the song. You need a cue off song.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. I haven't got an American flag here to wave for anybody. So imagine I'm waving an American flag for you guys. There you go. 4th of July, Happy Independence Day, all that, although nobody seems to have much independence these days. You're all locked up somewhere.
Joe's pissed. The pubs are open today in the UK. He's completely pissed now.
Cool. Things are getting back to normal. The go-go bars in Bangkok, the girls are there in the go-go bars, from what I understand. I haven't been there yet to check it out, but they've all got these face shields. Looks really sexy.
Mr. Mitch wants me to take him out with red hot chili peppers. Yes, I can do that.
Bikinis and face shields. So that's what you got to look forward in Nana Plaza. I saw some photos of people on my Facebook feed of the opening night, and it looked completely dead. Right, nobody there. Basically, the stipulation with their opening is the fact that you are on CCTV camera everywhere you go. Right, so like they've spent the last 3 years trying to get all the vloggers out of these places, and now they've set up They've set up CCTV cameras everywhere to capture everybody going in and out of the bars. So guess what? You got no patronage. Good idea, guys. But anyway, that's what's doing.
And also, somebody suggested doing. What did he say? Somebody said something about. So there was a good suggestion in there. Alcohol, pubs open. What about buying a car? Dowlo said. What about buying
cars? Well, we can talk.
Yes, you have to say yes, Warren. He's your lead donator there, so you have to say yes to that.
We've done a lot of buying.
Whatever you want, Dowlo. You can choose any topic you like.
We've done a lot of buying cars in the expo videos, So like last one we did was with Rob when we were walking around the car show, and we do a lot of talking.
Yes, Dowlo, he will do them. He will do them. Yes.
Talking about buying cars, but again, buying cars is just as hard as Thai property. But looking what you're getting. One of the biggest scams at Thai buying cars we had, especially after the 2011 floods. There was a lot of bargains going through all these odd places, but you didn't know whether the actual motor had actually been soaked with water or not. And so for about 5 years after the floods, buying second hand was a real dodgy business, because they'd get the outside of the car all cleaned up.
That's next week's topic, Warren. You're already getting into it.
Anyway, buying cars. We're doing houses next week. We'll do more, and we'll do online shopping and buying cars. It's all on the list. We're just making a list.
You can do more rentals next week too. You don't have to just do.
Yeah. So, but ideally, if you can come on the Discord and we can just we can feed in there and we can all talk about it interactively, and go to different places, and you can drive the discussion.
Bello says, are those ping pong shows an occupational health and safety issue?
Yeah, if you get one of those ping pong balls in your drink, yes, they are. Yeah, that's one thing. When you go in there, you got to cover when they did the show. You got to cover it.
Yeah, I did that once, and I heard people say it, and I remember the ping pong ball bounced right in my drink. I took the ping pong ball out and sculled.
I got popped in the eye once with one. Shit.
I gave the drink back and then just licked the ping pong ball. No, all right. No, sorry, no more jokes. No more jokes.
But yeah, anyway, we'll catch you later, guys. Peace out. Thanks for joining.
A guy lost his eye at a ping pong show.
We're really off topic right
cars.
Now. Okay.
Yes, I know.
Where's my closeout screen so I can put the little branding thing on the end of it?
I understand humour on this channel.
Okay, don't forget, that's all that you'll find me on one of those platforms. Follow me. Special shout out to our Patreons. I should actually put up the donators as well, shouldn't I? Your support, show your support, Patreon, PayPal, like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. And there you go, a couple of playlists. You'll find yourself interested.